My apologies. I've been getting started a little late lately. But let me get that game cast up. Baltimore, of course, starting with the ball here today. 2nd and 8, 4:15 here on the clock. We missed the first play. Zay Flowers, screen left here. Got some room. He's at the 50, 45, 40, 45, 30, 35, 20, 20. All the way down to the 20-yard line. Sorry, I messed that up. 46-yard completion to Zay Flowers here on the first drive. And good blocking. Look at Ronnie Stanley is all the way like 40 yards downfield on this blocking here. He gets out there that quickly. And that's likely in Stanley leading the way for Zay Flowers on that screenplay. 13:40 here. Ball on the 20-yard line. Handoff. That's going off right side. And Henry tries to bounce it outside and not much on the game. Maybe a yard. And again, welcome in, everyone. We've got high-scoring 2 offenses today. Washington, of course, leading the NFL in scoring. Ravens second. On PFF, though, Baltimore ranks 2nd offense in the NFL. Washington 11th. So something to keep an eye on today. Good morning, David McNiner. How you doing today, my boy? I ain't gonna lie. Your boy straight rolled out of bed. I've got 4 shots of espresso right here, and we're ready to get started for the day. Trips left here for the Ravens. And look at that. They're Tony Romo or whoever's already circling them there, showing, ooh, Andrew's quick off the line there. He's going to get the ball. Oh, no! Off his hands, intercepted! It's going the other way. Lamar, the only man. And Lamar just stops them, but Mark Andrews with a costly interception there hit him dead in the hands. And if y'all don't remember this, years ago, I used to be upset about that because he has a lot of what I call double clutch catches. Something I struggled with later in my career. And is that Mike Sainer still? It is the Michigan man. Was that their 2nd round pick, I believe, this year? One of their 2nd round picks. I think they had multiple 2nd round picks. Welcome in, Steve-O. We got guys already gambling. They're over on the West Coast. It's wild to me to think about that. Y'all have football like at 10 in the morning. Like, it's cool, but it's weird to me. Like, I personally can't see myself going out to a B-Dubs bar at 10 in the morning to get wings and beer. But if I was a big college football fan and I had been watching like Saturday night college football with the boys all night and drinking, rolling out of bed after a night of college football drinking, and then going straight into the NFL, okay, I can see that. I can see a little appeal in that. Like, if you got that style of life, you know. I've got a significant other, so that's not my lifestyle anymore. But I could see how that could be a little bit of fun. And we're not drinking adult beverages. Well, I mean, would you consider an espresso? So in this cup right here, I've got 4 shots of espresso, 3 sugar packets, 2 creamer packets, basically. What up, Sentinel? How you doing, my boy? Would you consider that an adult beverage? 4 shots of espresso with a little bit of cream and sugar. I call that my daily fuel. That's my go-to, man. I don't do like a lot of coffee. I like the espresso, just a little bit of cream, a little bit of sugar. Steve-O said these days, first game watch at home, then turn up. Yeah, that's how it should be. Because it would be kind of cool, just like chill, wake up, just kind of like watch that 10 a.m., the 1 p.m. games over here, just kind of relaxing, and then you start gearing up for all the other games. Like, I could see that, Steve-O, 100%, like 100%. You know, and the thing is this, they've harped on the Ravens a lot, and maybe we'll get to see it a little bit here. A lot of people are like, oh, the Ravens coverage this, the Ravens coverage, one of the last strength. It's because we force teams to be so one-dimensional, essentially, that the cornerbacks are playing great coverage. Marlon, you know, here and there, but usually he's right on top of that motherfucker. They are just great catches that these wide receivers are making. The Ravens DBs are making them make every catch. What I would like to see is a little bit more of what last year, these tip passes going up in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel you on that, Sentinel. My joints are. All right, Jaden Daniels getting started here, basically at the 50, run up the middle. And again, no Brian Robinson Jr. here for Washington. Some of the big inactives for them. Brian Robinson Jr. on the offense. Emmanuel Forbes, who's kind of turned into a depth piece, the former first-round pick. Tyler Owens, the safety. And then they're also missing a backup left guard. So if anything happens to the starting left guard, that's something to keep an eye on here for Washington. 2nd and 4 here. Jaden from the shotgun. Plenty of time here. Short pass and low, but I think his man's got it. And that should be a 3rd and short. David says, I don't think it's adult beverage. Add some Kahlua. Now we talking. You're not wrong on that, though. You're not wrong. And what up, Sponge? 3rd and 2. Jaden making an adjustment. Flips the Eckler to the opposite side. Twin stack formation on the top side of your screen. Double tight end bottom. Eckler flips to the opposite side again here. Ravens show pressure. They only bring 4. And, wide open. Eckler on the play. Definitely looked like something happened on this play, whether it was a miscommunication or Roquan got clipped by somebody. I did see it look like Roquan got clipped or like fell or something. I'm not really sure, but you do got to give some proper credit to Cliff Kingsbury, the new offensive coordinator over there in Washington. We covered his game against Cincinnati, and we saw some pretty clever use of formations here. A little bit of T formation here. Wishbone, I guess you could call it as well. And design quarterback run going nowhere that time. 2nd and 10 here. Commanders, though, already in the red zone after that big play by Eckler. Of course, no Broderick Washington for the Ravens today, so we're going to see a lot more of Brent Urban probably today. Travis Jones, though, the breakout star for the Ravens, we're hoping he makes a play. Beak, of course, got one on the board last week. Little bit of orbit motion here for the Commanders. They're going to set the screen to it. And pretty good second effort here. Gain of what looks like maybe 3 plays on the play. Zacchaeus, the recipient of the screen. Sentinel says, see, some people do better offensive coordinators. Good man got to know his limitations. You're not wrong on that, though, Sentinel. And like I said, I was watching him in the Cincinnati game. That's why I covered that game of 2 weeks ago, so I could get a little bit of insight knowledge on this a little bit. And I liked what I saw from Kingsbury. 3rd and 7, though. 10 minutes left here in the first. Big 3rd down here for the Commanders and the Ravens. Ravens look like they're only bringing 4. Looks like obvious zone coverage. It is. And pressure there. And Travis Jones, as I called his name, makes a play for the Ravens. Let's get the Jones gif up. Kyle Van Noy, early pressure on this play here off the right tackle side, it looks like. He's going to force him to step up. Travis gets the first hand on him. Matabike helps come finish him. And the Ravens get their first sack of the day and show that bend, don't break mentality here in the red zone. Let's see if Seifert's able to convert this 42-yard field goal attempt. 12 out of 12 and make that 13 out of 13. And unfortunately, due to that bad interception on Mark Andrews, essentially, more than Lamar Jackson. And that's the thing that, like, it's hard to explain to people if you don't watch sometimes the games. This is one of those examples. You see the stat column, you're like, oh, Lamar already threw a first interception on his drive. And then if you're watching their game, you're like, that shit ain't on Lamar. That's 100% on Mark Andrews. That was 100% on Mark Andrews, my boy. Isaiah likely would have caught that ball, just saying. But no. No hate on Mark Andrews. I want to make sure I get that clear. Like, I'm just messing with Mark. Like, for first of all, coming back from the injury that he came back from, the car wreck that he was in before camp, I feel like inside the castle, we knew and expected a slower start. It's just, And Isaiah Likely is just, man, it kills me too. For those that don't know, I originally walked on as a tight end at CCU, right? Isaiah Likely is 1 inch taller than me, basically, and like maybe like 5 to 10 pounds heavier, which I could close if I just had proper nutrition, to be honest with you, because I'm always in a calorie deficit. But yeah. It breaks my heart when I played back in the day, like when I played semi-pro and all that stuff, and I walked. Tight ends were not the guys that were a little shorter. Like you didn't have that short guy that had the yak ability at tight end. A traditional tight end was minimum 6'5" and minimum 250, basically. Ideally, you could get a tight end around 6'7" that also, still had that 250 to 270 size. But of course, as the offenses got smaller and faster, tight ends did as well. And so that's why we have I think Isaiah Likely's listed as 6'4", 240-ish, somewhere around there. And yeah, it's just funny to watch how the game's changed over the years. Sentinel says, oh, by the way, Blade 2 is extremely underrated. I just rewatched it last night. Good to know, my boy. Good to know. Thank you for someone putting up Streamlabs. I need to get the betting opened. For those that don't know, we have loyalty points here on the channel. Loyalty points can be used to, play different games like you see David McNiner doing in the channel and stuff like that. Where the hell is my cloud bot? Back dashboard. And one of the things that we do is, of course, did I close that poll? I'm going to keep that poll open. I don't even care. It'll pop up eventually. And Hardy returning. Not much on the second return. And of course, he wasn't returning balls last week. So I feel like he's got something to prove. All right, Ravens. And so for those that don't know, I'd love to hear y'all. Actually, I'm going to open this as a poll in Streamlabs because this will be a better poll for today. We're going to complete that poll. That's a cool poll. And there's Derrick Henry for a 5-yard run. And open a brand new poll, guys, on Streamlabs. Is Derrick Henry the last Hall of Fame running back? There's a lot of guys, that have started to say that there's no running backs close to that 10K yard mark. You know what I'm saying? And that can get there. Jonathan Taylor's one of the few only guys. So a lot of people are saying, is Derrick Henry going to be one of the last Hall of Fame running backs? Bootleg here, Lamar all the time. He's going to run with it. Oh! They got his ankle. He's just going to go down. That's smart. He's short by a yard here. That's going to be 3rd and 1 as Bobby Wagner holding on that leg for dear life. Lamar and him having a little laugh after the play. Lamar was trying to make everybody miss, man, and he almost made a highlight cut there. But Bobby was holding on that, like I said, to that ankle for dear life. Steve-O said, who's the genius who put and started Jacksonville's tight end? This guy. Are you talking about Evan Ingram? Is he healthy again? Derrick Henry. Oh, no, Lamar's going to keep it. Run going left. He's got a little space, and good job just to dive and get down. And he's short just of the 50-yard line. Fresh set of downs. And I'd love to see the Ravens take a deep shot right here. CMC is one of those guys. I'd have to look. Hold on. CMC career. CMC's only at 6,185 rushing yards as a running back. Coming off what an injury they're saying could be towards Zay Flowers, jet sweep, got some room, and got the first down. Gain of what looks like 12 on the play as the Ravens are on the Commander's side of the field. Ravens are stretching them to the outsides horizontally, and it definitely seems to be working. 10 catches for 102 yards. Nice. Oh, yeah, I should pull up Steve-O, thanks for the lookout on that. I'm going to pull up the NFL Game Center, which will also keep me updated on who the fantasy football leaders are currently. Where's the damn sports? Up the middle and run for what looks like 4 more. Second and 6. 6:10 left here in the first quarter. Yeah, and see, I think the receiving yards would help his case, of course, but they're just good. They were just making an argument off rushing yards. This was one of those like bigger fantasy footballs podcasts. I just happened to come across them on my Facebook, and I was like, I mean, if we're just talking rushing yards, like, but it wouldn't really lend an argument to like the new style of backs where you do have to be able to pass catch and pass block constantly as well. But if you add CMC and Derrick Henry, Steve-O, make that argument after adding CMC, I mean, they got a pretty good argument, I'd say, right? Toss play going left. That's Derrick Henry and gain of what looks like maybe 2-3 on the play. And Ravens just happy to just pound this ball away, and that's what they should be doing. Last time they had an interception just in this area. Most 935 combined rush yards between Jackson and Henry in the first 5 games. That's the most through 5 games in NFL history. Of course, Washington coming into this game with a 20th ranked run defense. Not that much better than some of the teams the Ravens have been playing. Let's see if they can get it done today. Trips right here for the Ravens. Tight stack. Good pocket for Lamar all day. Buying more time even. And got a man likely and not able to connect with him. Likely looking for a flag there. Not going to get one. David McNiner says, how many touchdowns does CMC have overall? That's a good question. I'll look it up for you. CMC total touchdowns career. Supposedly 83 career total touchdowns is what Google is telling me quickly. Let's look up Derrick Henry career total touchdowns. 104. So Derrick Henry still has 20 more touchdowns than CMC in his career. That's pretty wild, actually. I expected that to be way closer. Oh, no, we got a fumble. Did Justice Hill try to run this and just fumble the ball? And man, Lamar's able to recover the ball. And twice now the Ravens have almost turned the ball over. And that's going to be a costly. Let's watch here. Linderbaum on the snap. Oh, Linderbaum just loses it on the snap immediately. It just seemed like it slipped off Linderbaum's hand on that one. That was a weird one. I will look up Saquon here as soon as Tucker kicks this field goal. One moment here. And Tucker right down the middle. And they said that he had a little pressure on him. Good kick. And with that, 3:45 left here in the first. We're tied all 3-3. Yeah, Saquon only has 52. So Saquon's 30 touchdowns behind CMC, and like 50 touchdowns, career touchdowns behind Derrick Henry. So that's why they were making that argument for Derrick Henry. Like, I could kind of almost see what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Godaire's questionable return. Ooh, that's rough, my boy. I don't know why they don't count playoff stats. That hurts Barkley and Henry. Man, that's actually a very valid point. That is such a valid point because Derrick Henry at least got, usually for a lot of years to that first round. And the Commanders, the Titans for some years actually got all the way to the AFC Championship for 1 year, didn't they? I know they at least got to the divisional round. They spoiled my Ravens year 1 year, and then we came back the next year. Let's see here. DeAndre Swift, number 1 in fantasy backs right now with 21.9. Kenneth Walker, 20.9. Let's take a look. Texans are up 7-0 already on the New England Patriots. Tampa Bay with a commanding lead over the Saints, 14-0 halfway through that first quarter. Anthony Richardson and the Colts have an early lead, 7-0 with 9 minutes left in the first quarter against the Titans. 0-0 Cleveland versus Philly. Y'all gotta beat them, bro. Like, for real. And then Green Bay taking on Arizona. Green Bay's up 7-0 already on Arizona. And, of course, we had that early game, I believe over in London, Chicago, 35, Jacksonville 16 as Trevor Lawrence is back. What are you going to do if you're a Jacksonville fan, man? Like, legitimately. I'll be right back. Let's see. Hey, my boy Moro Joma from Texas. Good stuff. Spot says Jerome died. He's going to. Oh. My bad, guys. We had to get that out of there. While, I'll be honest, that's how, in a sense, not that link, but some other type of link is how I'm watching the game because I don't have Paramount Plus today. You cannot broadcast that in the channel, sadly. So, oh yeah, I don't know if y'all have seen this. So the Washington Commanders and LSU bought a virtual reality system from a German company that does like all kinds of virtual sim stuff for quarterbacks to help them, where they can even import Cliff Kingsbury's voice to make the play calls in the sim, essentially. Screenplay going right here, and great coverage by Kyle Hamilton and Eddie Jackson. But so what they do is they even have Cliff Kingsbury's voice playing through the virtual or the VR helmet, essentially. And they import like thousands and thousands of plays. So not only can they call their playbook, but they can practice against certain defenses and like import the players. Like, it's wild. They did it at LSU, and after the Commanders drafted Jaden Daniels, the Commanders spent a lot of money getting the rights to that technology from the German company. Oh! And Austin Eckler just got taken out by Nate Wiggins. They set a little outlet pass, and Nate lays a hammer. I saw them talking about it on a podcast recently, and they said, honestly, probably every single team within 5 years is probably going to have this technology for their quarterbacks. 3rd and 10 here. Let's see if Baltimore brings any pressure. Looks like they're trying to bring a little bit from the left side of the line. They do, or I'm sorry, Kyle Hamilton comes up the middle, and pass is dropped by Zacchaeus. Had a man open in the middle, but Zacchaeus just drops it. 3 and out as the Ravens punt return team comes out. And Kyle Hamilton sets a pick basically for Odafe Owe trying to come on that stunt. And great pass blocking by Eckler in the offensive line of the Commanders to pick it up, honestly. Let's see what Hardy does here with the punt return. Ravens have some pretty good coverage. He's going to get a chance to return. He's dancing, goes nowhere, and he literally gained no yards. He danced and then just walked out of bounds, not even forward. Come on, man. This is why Baltimore special teams is ranked 28th in the NFL right now. I've gotta I have got to get Cole Jackson to do some film study and see if they could be better. Because it's hard to watch from that film angle and honestly be really critiquing the special teams. But I really feel like Hardy could have done something with that. Like, there was so much. Hey, I'm glad that was Moro Ojomo's first NFL sack. That's pretty cool. Loss of 11 yards. Moro Ojomo, for those that don't know, was featured on my draft special last year. The defensive lineman from Texas has a really good bull rush move. He's solid in run defense. He actually finished pretty good last year. I think run defense grade as a rookie. But he was one of those guys that I thought from last year's draft that you could probably get in the 4th to 6th round. Would give you some pretty good run defense snaps early in his rookie year, and then eventually develop potentially into a guy that can push the pocket from the middle and really set an edge on, pick and pulls essentially on the line. And hopefully he'll be that person for you, Sponge. Like I said, one of my draft guys last year. Oh, Titans on the board now. We've got a tie game there in where are they at? Are they in Tennessee? They are in Tennessee. Let's watch here. So they got a stacked formation, gonna just set an out and up with a screen basically, or is this a wheel? Oh yeah, that's 100% just like a wheel out and up kind of. You're essentially trying to set a block for a screen or fake the setup of the block for the screen. And then when the safety kind of takes a bad angle thinking it's a screen, you just rip that shit to the back pylon. Pull that left elbow as they were on the left side. Pull that left elbow to turn your body quicker. And like I said, aim for the back pylon and burst it. Head down for the first 2 or 3 steps. Look for the ball. And they made it look easy on that play in Tennessee. That was good play calling, honestly. You can't even say good play calling. It's good play calling and execution by the wide receiver. And if Will Levis stared down the screen and maybe even gave the pump fake, it makes that second throw even better, to be honest with you. If you didn't see that throw that I'm talking about, it was Will Levis's touchdown in that Tennessee. Is that Levis in that game? I don't even know. All right, let's go Ravens. 2:20 on the clock here in the first. Ravens looking to take this lead. Ball on the 20-yard line to start this drive. Little play action setting the screen to Zay, and didn't really like that play call. You can take that one out. So that was a play action screen with only one wide receiver set to block. Of course, there were 2 guys over there. I don't know if they had man coverage or if it was just a zone stacked heavy to that side, but just basically whoever was the other wide receiver other than Zay had to block 2 guys. So Zay immediately had to make a guy miss. I don't know. Wasn't a huge fan of that one. 2nd and 10. Andrews and Likely lined up left on the formation. Run going right and nothing on the play. That was a little weak side run and not much to gain. Really haven't liked the play calls on this sequence, honestly. I'm not a fan of that play action screen on the first one. Didn't like running away from your power, We've run pretty good to the left side when Ronnie Stanley. I would have rather, flipped that last minute maybe and tried to run into the power. I mean, maybe the numbers didn't line up. Lamar Jackson knows better than me because he was on there on the field and he's already running the numbers. 3rd and 9. Commanders showing some pressure. Let's see if they bring it. Zay, the motion man, slot left now. 4 seconds left on the play clock. Justice Hill flips to the left side. Commanders make another adjustment. They back out of the blitz, it looks like. And Lamar gets pressured, and he's going down at what looks like the 8-yard line. And that's Dante Fowler Jr. with the sack for the Commanders. Welcome in, ES, my boy. How you doing? And that's a 10-yard sack now. 4th and 20. And now, even if Jordan Stout gets a good punt, and Lamar probably should have started climbing the pocket a little early, but like they're saying, I think the tackles took bad angles, is what I don't know if that's Tony Romo who's calling the game right now for CBS. I think it is. And I think what he was saying is the Ravens tackles set bad angles on that drop. So either they set bad angles or Lamar dropped, I'm guessing maybe incorrectly depth-wise, but obviously something technique-wise wrong on that. And Zacchaeus going to catch it, return it, and pushed out of bounds on the right side after a short gain. Commanders looking for a late hit, not going to get one. Yeah, Sponge, he's been coming in for Jordan Davis. I can imagine so. If Jordan Davis has struggled here and there, Ojomo is a good rotational piece. Hopefully he'll continue to grow. Did y'all take him in the 3rd round, or was it the 5th? Oh, and you almost had another one? That's what I'm saying, dude. When I flipped on the tape of Ojomo last year, I'm sorry, not last year, the year before when he was in college, I was sitting there like, really? This guy's gonna, yeah, he's about a 4th round. I'd happily take him with a 4th rounder. He was a borderline 3rd, bottom of the 3rd guy, maybe, depending on how the board falls. Everything depends on how the board falls on draft day. You could have the best plan in the world, and then 10 trades happen in the 1st round that screw the entire board, basically, especially if later round picks are getting moved around, and then you've got to be moving quickly and readjusting what you think everyone's taken and to be successful in any type of draft. I shouldn't say to be successful. You can still be successful, but to be continuously successful and not leave it up to chance. And man, what a game right now. And if the Ravens hadn't had the turnover on the first drive, what a game this would be right now. And instead, it's still 3-3, and we're almost done with the first quarter. Oh, man, I don't know if I set my fantasy lineup. I guess I'll be okay. Let's go. I'm excited for next week. Come on, Zach Bond, do something. Poke, poke. You know what, Sponge? I'm honestly, depending on how this week goes, I might give you Zach Bond if you want him. Actually, I shouldn't say give it to you. I might drop him if you're still there. Currently, CJ Spillane, the linebacker for the Las Vegas Raiders, is the current NFL tackle leader. And I picked him up this past week in waivers. So I might move him in. He's averaged 10 tackles a game, basically. So he's averaging 10 points a game right now in fantasy football with no tackles for a loss counting, no sacks counting, no interceptions, forced fumbles, pass deflections. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you play individual defensive player league and you're looking for a defensive player that's going to give you consistent points right now, like I said, I'm sorry, I called him CJ. It's Robert Spillane. My apologies. Week 1, 9.5. Week 2, 15.5. Week 3, 13. Week 4, 11.5. Week 5, 9. He's predicted at least 6 points in every matchup for the rest of the season. And I definitely think that's worth, and for those that don't know, I didn't do a fantasy football show this week just because everything that happened with the hurricane, I picked up the Saints defense, which of course is going to be my defense for my bye week. And if I'm not mistaken, week 14, the New Orleans Saints play the New York Giants. And that's the matchup I'm hoping for. Hate to be that person for Giants fans, but I'm hoping that Saints defense does that Saints defense thing week 14 in fantasy football. I'll hold that Saints defense until that week, unless I find a better matchup to exploit. And if I do, I'll make sure I'll let y'all know on Fantasy Football Thursday. Run up the middle and nowhere on that play. Let's go as Travis Jones and Jerome Simpson are there early. Let's watch this here. And number 90, Ojabo, does a good job sealing his edge. Does let him run by him a little bit. I would have liked him to see eyes up a little better, maybe get around that edge. But 3rd and 5. Big 3rd down here for the Commanders. 3 wide receivers in. Stack duo formation. I'm sorry, they just motioned out of it. This is interesting. What is this? Am I getting a weird feedback noise, I swear. Here we go. Daniels pressured early. having to roll out. Beaks chasing him, and he's got the first down out of bounds after the first yard run. And Ravens had really good pressure, but just couldn't get a hands on him. And that's, Ngakoue getting some meaningful snaps. Okay, I was wondering who number 91 was. So, of course, Ravens reunited with Yannick Ngakoue, came back here to the Ravens, and little fake toss here. Daniels, good pocket. He's just going to drop it off to the halfback, and he's going to lose a yard or two on the play. 2nd and 11. Oh, we got another one coming in here. I want to join the heist. It's weird. My mic is like getting some weird feedback thing. Like, it's like driving me nuts. I might have to. There we go. Daniels had his man. Is that Zacchaeus? Oh my God. And watch Jaden Daniels. Like they're saying, watch him eye discipline. And that's such good eye discipline to open that throw. And God, poor Commanders fans, that is like 3 drops now by Zacchaeus, essentially. And we've got an injured Raven, though. Nate Wiggins. Oh, no. What just happened to my... I just lost my chat box. There we go. There we go. We're back. The crew of pirates and raiders checked their flintlocks and sharpened their cutlasses as they disembarked for Black Heart Island. The poisonous fog sends half the crew to Davy Jones' locker. The rest escape with a handful of plunder and a tale of plenty. David McNiner walking away with that fat booty of 1,600 jargons. I don't know. Give me a break. My gosh. Welcome back, my guy. Every game streaming on. I'm really going to have to go on my actual YouTube thing, and that's a bit rough. Let me see. Where's YouTube Studio when you need it? It's always rough. Let me see. My apologies. Just give me one moment. I've got to get to my YouTube Studio to get to my creative dashboard. Creative dashboard. Oh, it sucks. That's not even what I'm looking for either. Dismiss. I think I actually have to go find my live currently, and then there we go. The YouTube live control room. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Participants. There we go. Now we got them all kicked out. I always forget I got to pull this up so I can do stream markers as well as clip highlights easier from my stream. I always forget that. It's one of those things I'm trying to work on slowly. And Wiggins able to come off under his own power, so that's a good thing. Daniels, deep drop. He's going deep down the left sideline. Oh, what a coverage by Brandon Stevens. Jumping pass deflection, well timed on Terry McLaurin, and him and Marcus Williams are dancing. And like they're saying, He's glue, bro, because he's always sticky. And for those that don't know, Brandon Stevens is in a contract year. We really want to keep him in Baltimore, and Roquan comes through on the stunt, delivers a pretty good hit there on Jaden Daniels. 4th and 11, punt team out here for the Commanders. They do have a chance to pin the Ravens deep in their own side of the field here. A lot of time to punt that ball, and this is definitely going to be a fair catch. Oh! And they let it try to go behind, and the Commanders are there to stop it. Ball on the 5-yard line here. So Ravens will have 95 yards to go here in the second quarter. 12:55 in the second. To the right and up. To the left and down. Bring it back now, y'all. Sorry. Dang, Tampa Bay's up 17-0 on New Orleans right now. Tampa Bay is stomping Rattler and the Saints. And I know a lot of people in fantasy football after Spencer Rattler was like, I'm going to, Olave. Oh, I'm going to get him the ball. I wonder if he's able to get him the ball at all today. I mean, after that, if I was the Bucs defensive coordinator, I'd just double team Olave constantly just to force Spencer Rattler to have to make second reads, essentially, as a rookie. Let's see. Anything else? Everything else is kind of boring. No other big developments. Eagles finally got on the scoreboard 3-0 with Cleveland, and they have the ball. Nope, they got a long field to go just like us. Here we go. 12:53. Lamar Jackson, 65 passing yards, 14 rushing yards so far. 95 yards to go to get us in the end zone. Little play action. Quick pass, and his man's hit as he's trying to catch the ball, and I think him and I see him and Lamar. It looks like he was telling Lamar, "You're supposed to give me that ball inside, not outside." It looked like he was trying to say to him, and Lamar was like kind of nodding and talking with him as he was, because I could see the wide receiver kind of like doing this, like, and like kind of like seemed like he was not upset but frustrated because he got lit up as the ball came, and I think he's telling Lamar, "You got to give me that inside if he's on my outside, about to hit me." Henry, good run off the left side. That's going to be what looks like maybe a gain of 5. And 3rd and 5 here. Ravens need to make this third down conversion as Derrick Henry's coming off the field to substitute out. And Romeo Doubs here with a touchdown for the Packers. They're now up 14-0 on the Cardinals. And they're in the second quarter as well. All right. Come on, Ravens. Need a big one here. God, this sounded... I got to go find a new stream. Or reload the stream and see if it's still doing it. My stream is like giving me like this screeching sound coming through. And it just stops every once in a while. And open is Bateman, and that little comeback route on the left side. Easy first down. And for those that don't know, man, there's been a lot of people that hate on Rashad Bateman. Let's watch this. This is a comeback route as the X wide receiver on the left side of your screen. And they don't have him in the camera the entire time. And that's the thing. Rashad Bateman was known as a route runner coming out of college. He had, and with solid hands, really good speed, like 4.4, 4.3 speed. And his average separation score is ridiculous. Deep play action drop. Lamar climbing the pocket over the middle. Wide open, man. That's Bateman again. And Bateman just probably sitting down in the middle of this zone coverage right there. Let's go, Bate. Let's see here. And this is just a little bit of zone. He just, sits down in the zone. Ball a little low. He had to go down for this ball, basically. If this ball hits him in the chest, it'd been better. But he's just going to sit down here, and he catches this ball down around his knees. But luckily, no one around him, so it's okay. Oh, my gosh, bro. First and 10. Run up the middle. That's Henry. He's got some room. And a big gain on the play onto the Commander's side of the field. That's a gain of 16 on the play. Guess I'm going to have to go to my YouTube channel to do it. And Rosengard and Kohler delivering solid blocks on that one. 10-14, ball on the 37-yard line of the Commanders. All their linebackers step up on the play action. Lamar going over the left side. Zay makes the first man miss at the 15 and down at the 14-yard line, but not after a first down. And what a long drive here. I'm trying to get this. Really doesn't give me the option to ban them. That's crazy. 1st and 10. Split back formation here. Lamar going to keep it. Running right. And, oh, that looked like almost a horse collar. And it is. Throw the flag. Dante Fowler Jr. saying, I didn't do it, man. He's in the ref's face trying to plead his case. And he's still going after the ref. His teammate gave up, said, "Get away. I'm not doing this." Like, and it might have had the jersey, but let's see what the officials say. There is no foul for a horse collar tackle. Let's watch the replay here. It was below the nameplate. I mean, yep. I mean, that's a hip drop, though. Like they said, that's a hip drop, though. That's 100% a hip drop, and if he had caught Lamar's ankle, it'd have broke Lamar's ankle. Yeah, you got to call that, man. You got to call that. Crazy long drive. I agree, Mike. Let's see. 2nd and 12. Lamar, has to get away to Justice Hill. And Hill able to gain a couple yards back. Why do I feel like when Lamar whips this ball, like really puts his arm into it, people struggle to catch the ball? I really get that feeling from some of his throws, that he can just whip that thing. You know what I'm saying? I've played with a couple quarterbacks. When Tyler Thigpen played in the former KC in I'll talk about that in a minute. 3rd and 10. Big third down here for the Ravens in the red zone. Ball on the 14. 3 seconds left on the play clock. Lamar looking left, going over the middle, and almost intercepted. Zay wants a flag, and he got one. Zay's pointing to it. He said, "Look, boy, that's what happens when you cover me, Saint Baptiste." And Baptiste can't believe it. And Zay's trying to tell him why he got called for it. Zay literally was like, "Nah, bro, you grabbed my shoulder and yanked me back." Like, but when Tyler Thigpen, the former KC and Miami quarterback, played in our flag league, he actually couldn't play quarterback. It was unlikely. And that really didn't look like anything. But they showed the replay on likely, and the call wasn't on the guy that was covering likely. That was weird. Bad replay by CBS. CBS's replay team is so bad right now. Handoff. Henry going right after buying time, and that's a touchdown. Patient running style by Derrick Henry, and it pays off. Touchdown, Ravens. And barring that PAT, and he goes in almost untouched. The original hole filled. He just kind of takes one step back, rereads the line, sees that the right side doesn't have outside containment, puts his left foot in the ground, cuts outside to the right, and like I said, after that, almost walks in untouched. Wild. 95, 97-yard drive, basically. 93, whatever they said it was. Basically, 95-yard drive for the Ravens. And if the Ravens hadn't had that bad interception due to Mark Andrews' drop on the first drive of the game, we'd be up 17-3 right now, potentially. And that's one of those ones where I'd love to see the Ravens just... It's in the regular season, it's okay. The thing is this, we all know especially Ravens flock, we all know deep down when it's playoff time and successful playoff teams are teams that play good football in those 3 to 4 games. They play error-free football. They don't turn the football over. In the playoffs, if you turn the football over, you're probably not advancing. It's as simple as that. And if you win the turnover battle, you're more than likely advancing. So it's regular season, stuff like that happens. And like I said, that interception, not even on Lamar. But talking a little bit about this game, Ravens lead the all-time series 4-3. This is the first Washington Commanders visit to M&T Bank since 2016. The last time these teams met was in 2020. It was a COVID game. The Ravens won 31-17. Terry McLaurin had a 10-catch, 118-yard game in that last meeting. The Ravens are trying to continue their domination of rookie quarterbacks, especially at home. Ravens are 18-2 at home versus rookie quarterbacks. Of course, we already saw it a little bit. No Brian Robinson Jr. for the Commanders today. That's a big blow, not having him, and there's no way you can say he's as good a runner as Eckler is. Oh, the Patriots just got an interception on C.J. Stroud off the tip ball and returned it about 29 yards out of the end zone. Patriots defense, that's Jack Jones making a play for them. They're showing some signs of life. And that's severely debilitating as a play caller with no Brian Robinson. We're excited to see that Baltimore continue this rushing attack. Baltimore is coming into this game ranked in the top 10 in almost every category in PFF. Second in offense, fourth in passing, third in pass blocking, sixth in receiving, fourth in run, fifth in run blocking, ninth in defense, first in run defense, second in tackling, ninth in pass rush. Coverage ranked 23rd, but that is a little unfair to the coverage unit. It's because we have the number 1 run defense currently. And the special teams ranked 28th. A lot of that, though, is due to some of the early Justin Tucker misses. And, of course, some of the times the Ravens just aren't getting chances to return the ball. But since we've changed the offensive line around a little bit, we have seen and started Rosengarten out there at right tackle. This team's played a lot different, to be honest with you. And Tucker with the kick here. No return coming, probably. Yeah, caught basically in the back of the end zone, out of bounds. And here comes Jaden Daniels. This is the number 1 scoring offense versus the number 2 scoring offense. CJ said you never finished your Tyler Thigpen story. So basically, hold on. You got to love, man, someone's commitment to trying to do this. Like, every time this person comes into spam, I put them in a 24-hour timeout. But yeah, Tyler Thigpen threw the ball so hard when we played flag football that he actually couldn't play quarterback in our flag football league. So even though Tyler Thigpen, the former CCU quarterback, former Miami and Kansas City quarterback, had a crazy arm, he couldn't play quarterback because he threw the ball so hard that nobody in our flag league could catch the ball, apparently. So he played a lot of wide receiver, actually, in our flag league. So a lot, and I'm telling you, man, when I walked onto CCU, I had my first welcome to the almost NFL moment. Ooh, Hamilton, big hit on Jaden Daniels. But I had a quarterback. I caught my first ball to the chest from a college level strength quarterback. Ooh, and tight coverage here, and good catch by the Commanders here. Oh, no catch, I'm sorry. But with no pads on, I caught my first ball, took it straight to the chest because I was used to soccer style catch it in my chest and trap it basically. And that shit left a deep bruise on my sternum for weeks. And that was my welcome to the NFL moment when you have those real top tier level quarterbacks that can throw the ball, that have that elite arm strength. Bro, that shit will break your ribs if you catch it in the chest with no pads basically. And short pass over the middle, zone coverage by the Ravens, and going to be a short gain here. Third and manageable. Yeah, that was one of my welcome moments. I was like, all right, got to make sure I catch with my hands. Now I understand the thud and of the hollow of my chest as that ball hit my chest was wild. And of course, it hurts, and you're just like, you got to act like nothing wrong. You like, no, I'm good. I'm good, coach. Yeah, no. He's like, are you sure? I heard that ball hit you. I'm good, coach. Daniels, good pocket, going left. And again, Brandon Stevens right on top of Terry McLaurin. And good first down by the Commanders. And that's what I keep saying. Like, look at this. Stevens is right there. Stevens has his arm in there trying to knock that ball loose. You cannot get better coverage. But that's just a great throw and a great catch. Oh, little flea flicker screenplay going on here by the Commanders. It works. He's got the first down and some. And Humphrey with a good tackle. Looks like he took a cleat to the face, though. Tackling Eckler. That was a wild play. A flea flicker screen. Nick McNichols and Eckler, two running backs in the backfield here. Eckler lined up almost as the fullback. Little play action, flea flicker, screen kind of. I don't even know what that was. I don't know if that was designed. I don't know if that was accidental, but that was awesome. And screenplay going right. Good blocking. And it's a first down, and the Commanders are in a first and goal here as I forgot his name, Brown. And now the Commanders responding with a good drive of their own. What a play. First and goal. Ravens looking to make a big stop here in the red zone. They need it. Little bit of motion by number 85 of the Commanders. Marcus Williams desperately telling someone to move. And throw to the left side down at the 1 yard line. And that's a Darius Washington and Luke McCaffrey. And you could hear Luke. And my God, again, great throw and great coverage of Darius. Right there on him. Has a hand on the ball as McCaffrey's catching it. That's just, you can't play it any better than that. Second and goal. Little play action. And we've got a flag. Play is dead here. And it's a false start on the Commanders. That's going to back them up to approximately the 7 yard line. Tony Romo saying it's on the right tackle. Let's see. And Tony Romo knows his stuff, man. You got to give respect to Tony Romo. What I would give to do a week of film study with Tony Romo. Tony, can we make that happen? Can I do 1 week of film study together? Like, let's prep together 1 week for, like, the next NFL week. We can meet on a Zoom meeting. Do it through Discord. Microsoft Team. We'll figure it out, homie. But what I would give for 1 week of film study with Tony Romo. Daniels, another play action. Going deep. Back end zone. Did he get it? I don't know. They're saying touchdown to McLaurin. And, if Marcus Williams would have pushed him out a little sooner. Marcus Williams tried to push McLaurin out, but I think he was a second late on it. Let's see here. God, look at that separation by McLaurin off the offside. If Jaden would have been looking at McLaurin, it would have been easy. My God. Let's watch. Let's see. Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, that's easy. And with that, the Commanders respond with a 70-yard drive of their own. I can't be doing this, man. The Ravens are literally, like, killing me here. Like, with these games, the back and forth is literally going to drive me nuts these past few weeks. Like, my heart can't take it anymore. Michael says, if you remember, that's how Brett Favre was. He threw that ball so hard he would break. I do remember that, actually. And that's why you hear, like, Stephon Diggs, when he went to C.J. Stroud on the bench, he's like, you throw such a catchable ball, bro. And supposedly Tom Brady used to have a little bit of that problem as well, that he would just sling that thing over the middle. Like, And I get a lot of quarterbacks do it, especially when they're under pressure and they want to make sure that ball gets there, you know? Like, man, like I said, it breaks my heart. I had a friend when I was younger, I used to play football with. And I legitimately, me and him used to go, just me and him. He played quarterback, I played tight end, and we would go and run routes for hours, just me and him. I'd be the only guy running routes, he'd be the only quarterback throwing, and we would just go and do this for hours and hours. And I would coach him up on how he's supposed to throw, how he's supposed to drop, his footwork, like, and the dude had talent. When we used to play, he would be out there smoking a cigarette playing tackle football with us. And legitimately, he could take a knee on the 50-yard line with a cigarette in his mouth and from a knee launch a ball basically into the end zone. He had that. And I'm telling you, the one thing that I felt he always had was that natural feel of the game. He was like a natural athlete. He played every position. And he was one of the few people that I acknowledged had that natural feel a little bit better than me. Like, you know, I wasn't like 100% the best athlete. I'm not out there running a 4.4, 4.3, but I had that respectable 4.7 to 4.5 speed, like, you know, and but I always had that instinct, the ability to read the field, read what was going on, and make a good play. But he was always slightly better, and it showed when he played quarterback. He could roll to any side, make any throw. He had sidearms. He legitimately used to do the behind-the-back throws to fuck around with people. The no-look behind-the-back throw like Mahomes has done. And dude had all the talent in the world. And, you know, his life got derailed by drugs and crime. And I tried so many times to get him to like move out of the bad area that he was in and like come live with me and like my girlfriend in better, like, you know, different city, and like fucking breaks my heart, dude, every fucking day. Like what could have been. I wanted him to come walk onto a college with me. I had planned for me and him to go walk onto the worst college and Hardy trying to make a return happen, and not much, down at the 22-yard line. Basically, at one point, I was trying to lift again. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to make it to the NFL, but if I can get some dude to pay for my education for 4 years, worth it. Absolutely worth it for me. And so I started lifting again, getting ready to go play college football, and I was going to have him go with me, man. And I was going to have him try to walk on at QB and me walk. Basically, I was going to try to walk on as either a linebacker or a tight end. I was going to have him walk on as either a quarterback or a safety. But here comes the Ravens. 4:09 left here, so 4-minute drill here for the Ravens. And Lamar making an adjustment. He's changing the protection. Play action, good pocket over the middle, and that's Flowers. And Flowers having a big day today, 1st and 10. And what is this guy doing? What is Sainer still doing? The play is dead, it's over, and he's hassling Flowers, knocking the ball out after the play's over, and he's clearly down. Like, can we not get a flag for that? It's not like big hits, but it's definitely excessive and over the top after the play's over. Like, he's basically just punching him in the ribs. Steve-O says, Lance throws so hard he breaks his own finger. That's a good one. That's a good one. And we've got a flag on the play here. And against Baltimore. They're pointing at each other. And they're saying false start against Rosengard, the right tackle. And I might be honest, guys, I might switch to some hard liquor at halftime. I'm almost at the end, and if y'all don't know, I've been drinking 4 shots of espresso with 2 creams, 3 sugars. That's my beverage to get me going in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now, David, or Steve-O, you would do exclamation point accept to accept that duel if you would like to, Steve-O. And 1st and 15, Lamar. Good pocket all the time. And we've got another flag here, as this is probably going to be pass interference on the Commanders. Bateman, the intended wide receiver. Let's see what the flag is. And this is holding on the defense, number 1. That's Noah Igbinoghene. Igbinoghene. That's a crazy name. I like, though, that we're seeing back more of these like traditional names come back. I don't care that it's hard to pronounce. It's my job to learn how to pronounce it. It's as simple as that. And yeah, that's absolutely good call holding Zay Flowers on the middle right there. That's a good call by the refs. 3 minutes left here in the first half of football. Pretty even game, 26 plays to 23 plays, 175 yards for the Ravens, 109 yards for the Commanders. Justice Hill flexed out wide here, empty backfield for the Ravens. Lamar going deep down the left sideline, and Igbinoghene, and good coverage that time on the play. Tight coverage. And Chris Olave, by the way, guys, out of the game on that Saints game. So Saints without their number 1 target. And Igbinoghene, good coverage there on Nelson Aguilar, actually. Good pressure there. Lamar's hand gets hit, actually, as he throws there. So 2nd and 10. 2:56 on the clock here. Ravens at their own 32-yard line, so got 68 yards to go here. Good pocket. Lamar over the middle. He's got a man, and it's Zay as Zay continues his huge day as he's approaching what looks like the 47-yard line, so just short of the 50. Oh, my gosh. And David, it probably timed out at this point. It times out after 2 minutes or 120 seconds. No huddle started here for the Ravens. 2:30 as they're speeding it up before the 2-minute warning. Ravens making adjustment. Derrick Henry switching to the opposite side here. Zay now 111 receiving yards onto the day. I think that's a career high. Oh, and I don't know about y'all. I had a new mouse pad for a while, and I don't know if I'm like allergic to it. I was having like an allergic reaction on my like wrist and palms for like weeks. And it's finally... David McNiner rolling the 99 on the die. David, that got you. Look at the multiplier on that, by the way. I set the multiplier for rolling a 99 to a lot. So, my God. And open man, that's Aguilar on the left sideline. And he's out of bounds at 2:01. So that's... And that's the 2-minute warning, ladies and gentlemen, as the Ravens get on to the Commanders' side of the field. Yeah, the Cardinals now down 17-0 with 4 minutes left in the second quarter of football there. Eagles finally get in the end zone. They're up 10-3 on the Cleveland Browns. Titans finally bring back their lead. They're up 10-7 on the Colts. Still a 14-0 game in New England. Of course, I believe Drake May getting the start for New England. Doesn't look like much going on. But Spencer Rattler, even though Chris Olave is out for the Saints, he's making something happen there. Tampa lead has narrowed in that game, 17-13 Tampa. But Bucky Irving, 3 rushes for 25 yards so far. Spencer Rattler, 7-9 for 72 yards, 3 rushes for 21 yards. We're definitely probably got to over under a 50-plus yards on Spencer Rattler running for the day. Joe Flacco out there for the Colts, actually. I thought it was Anthony Richardson. 8 of 14 for 81 yards and a touchdown. Trey Sermon, 7 rushes for 15 yards, not getting much done. Will Levis, 8 of 11 for 50 yards and a touchdown. Pollard having a good day, 6 rushes for 33 yards so far. He'll probably go over 75 before it's all said and done. David says, in and out, working on the Jeep. Good stuff, my guy, David. David, you got to hang out with Joe Stevens sometime, my guy. He's a Jeep guy. He likes to go Jeeping and off-roading, basically. Doing that climbing and stuff like that. Oh, did the Packers just score again? Oh, my God. It says Packers now 23-0 on, yep, and they just scored. Now, PAT good. Packers now up 24-0 on the Cardinals, and there's still 4 minutes left. Packers could get a 2-minute drill if the Cardinals go 3 and out. That's wild. Wild. David said, how did the 49ers lose to the trash Red Chickens? I know, man. It's just one of those ones. It might have been a trap game, kind of like how we lost to the Raiders. You know, at the beginning of the season, especially, you're devoting a certain amount of time and film study to certain teams. Like, you know, maybe you give like an extra half week to one team instead of giving one team like a full week of attention, game planning. Greenway making the look like NCAA. I know, right? Like literally, Christian Watson got himself a touchdown there now in Green Bay. Jordan Love is looking like MVP style quarterback right now, is what's really happening. Because, I mean, even though they did win with Malik Davis, technically, so that might actually hurt his MVP conversation. They might say it's more of, who is it? Is LaFleur up there? No. 1st and 10. Ball officially on the 35-yard line of the Commanders. And Lamar keeps it, and he's just going to go down to protect himself. Going to lose 2 yards on the play. Give me 1 second. Whew, my apologies. And talk about it. Yeah, I know Kenny's got to be happy wherever he's at. Kenny Culp, one of our 49er friends, has got Zay Flowers on his fantasy team. And, yeah, I'd be pretty happy about it, too, today. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Back-to-back 100-yard games. 7 catches, 111 yards. 2nd and 11, officially. And looking for Zay. Got him. Throws a little high there, and that's a gain of what looks like 5 or 6 on the play. Brings up 3rd and manageable here. Ravens have all 3 timeouts still. And Washington going to use their first timeout. And like Tony Rose said, a little bit high there, but you know, nothing Flowers can't handle. Maybe if it had been a better ball, Zay could have made a better move, but Sanders probably still would have got him there. And now we're at 8 targets, 8 catches for 117 yards. Talk about a big fantasy football day for Zay Flowers if you got him. Ooh, who just made a toe tap catch in that Saints game? Here we go. 3rd and 5 from the 30-yard line. 4 wide, Likely and Andrews in the slots for the Ravens. Moving into stack formation a little closer. Lamar looking over the middle. Got Zay again. 20, 15. And tackled with a fresh set of downs here. No reason for Baltimore to use any timeouts, honestly. They've still got so much time. And that's such a good job by Andrews running that route. I forgot what that route's called, where they kind of go in, out, like, and then cut to the corner. You see it in Madden a lot where the tight end does that. He like goes in and like tries to fake. It's absolutely a great one to use as a rub route. So Andrews runs that like weird route. I forgot what it's called. Not circle. What is it called? Fuck. But anyway, he runs that route, rubs underneath crosser for Zay, who gets then wide open. 2nd and 8. Lamar going to the back right pylon, and Likely was open, and Lamar just kind of overthrew it a little bit. And like they're saying, Mark Andrews hasn't been targeted in this half so far. Steve-O said, dang, Etienne, Olave both got hurt. That's rough, man. Yeah, Olave's has a concussion, Steve-O, if I remember correctly from seeing on the stats pop up. Drake May not having a good day, 5 of 10, and already has an interception as well for the Patriots, by the way. Come on, give Josh Jacobs the ball. I need some more fantasy points. 3rd and 8. And look, they're showing right here, the halfback, Tony Romo, showing what he might do. He's not going to do it. Over the middle. Got a man. It's Mark Andrews. And there's a Mark Andrews sighting. And Baltimore with the touchdown over the middle. That's a classic Mark Andrews catch. Let's get the Andrews gif up. 41st career touchdown, ties Todd Heap's record with the Ravens, by the way. Let's go. 41st career touchdown. Congratulations to Mark Andrews. Mark of the Beast is one of my fantasy football names. Let's see how we're doing in fantasy football this week. We're playing NFL Kyle. He's up 86-23, but I've got 7 players left to play. I've got a lot of Lions players playing. I really got to fix that. Let's see how my Team 3 kickers is doing. Team 3 kickers, they're up 81-58, predicted to win 144-136 against the 80 pack. I'm the 1-4 team playing the 5-0 team right now. Let's go. I think his quarterback's on a bye week. He's got Dan Jones starting against Cincinnati. Of course, I had Tyler Lockett and Kittle starting. Kittle got me 27.8 points. Tyler Lockett got me 16.5. Tucker's got me 6 already. I'm slowly turning that team around, man. I'm slowly turning that team around. It's getting there. Yeah, Jordan Love, 14-19 for 184 yards and 3 touchdowns so far currently in that Green Bay, Arizona game. Christian Watson, the leading wide receiver, with 2 catches for 58 yards. What else is going on here? Joe Mixon is back for the Houston Texans. He's got 10 carries for 75 yards, showing some life in that running game. CJ Stroud's 11 of 17 for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield having a really good day for Tampa Bay. He's 14-21 for 175 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bucky Irving having a pretty good day running the ball right now. 5 carries for 23 yards. So he's averaging almost 5 yards a carry. That's pretty dang good. Jalen Hurts looks like he's starting to finally get going, though. They're all tied up, though, all before halftime, 10-10. Hurts 9-16 for 137 yards and a touchdown. Saquon 12 carries for 42 yards. And that's it for the 1 o'clock games, actually. We got a lot of bye games going on here. And let's watch here. Andrews and the slot left, basically, are inline left here. Too high look here for the Commanders. And yeah, man, just on a too high look, the obvious weakness is down the middle. Mark Andrews runs right down the middle, while definitely looked like the left strong safety didn't have a deep threat and maybe could have cheated that way a little more. But at the same time, Bateman was coming on a crosser, which, of course, after the crosser, if you buy time, you do have to worry about the wide receiver then, of course, taking his route more vertical after the quarterback buys time. And if the strong safety would have shifted over more towards Andrews, that or the other guy on the free safety side, there was a guy that looked like he dropped back further after the initial, might have been in that quarters coverage or 3/4 coverage, and he just did a little bit of an extra deep drop, which at that point he could have communicated to the free safety to slide because the strong safety stayed where he was supposed to be. And if that would have happened, then the free safety could have slid to where Mark Andrews was. Good route by Mark, good throw by Lamar. Commanders maybe could have communicated vocally a little better on the play there to prevent the touchdown, but it's a hard one to do, man. It's hard. And I don't know why, guys, the dual function has not been working. Like, I don't get it. I'll have to message Streamlabs about it. 53 seconds here for Jaden Daniels. Oh, avoids a sack. He's going to run for it and slides for a first down here. Actually, they're going to mark him just short of a first down. Clock's going to continue. Washington only has 1 timeout. Baltimore has all 3. No huddle here as the Ravens running out late here to their assignments. And Daniels going right side. Good catch by his wide receiver. Diving catch. Nate Wiggins, good to see him back in the game. And they're going to say that's a catch out of bounds, so that's going to stop the clock. And they're going to say he was inbounds. That's a fantastic catch by Brown. And that is inbounds. So 20 seconds left. And Daniels going to just put this ball at the feet of Eckler. That's actually probably a good call. Stop the clock. After halftime, I don't know. I might make an adult beverage. I might pour me a little cup of Crown and Coke. The only downside is that I don't know what's for dinner right now currently, so it's a little rough, you know. But they're trying to get in range here for at least a field goal. They need 15 yards to get to Baltimore's 35-yard line. Ball now basically at the 50 to get to the field goal target line. 16 seconds, one timeout for the Commanders. Look at this. 5 wide, 4 lined up on the left side. Little fake screen. Ball inbounds. Oh, and he gets the first down and out of bounds as Zacchaeus finally makes a play for the Commanders. Zacchaeus, of course, the guy who had all those drops earlier for the Commanders, so really makes one up here. And just a little curl route by Zacchaeus. Nate Wiggins misses his tackle. If he had made that tackle, it would have forced the Commanders to use that timeout and be short of the field goal line. Man, Nate, you got to make that tackle, dog. Drive through. Don't dive. Drive through. 10 seconds left. They need about 4 yards to get to the field goal target line. So quick out here probably coming from the Commanders. And there it is, the quick out on the right sideline. That might have been a 10-yard comeback technically instead of more of an out route. And out of bounds, Zacchaeus with 5 seconds left. The field goal unit's coming out here for the Commanders. And Jaden Daniels, like they're saying, and good toe drag there by Zacchaeus, by the way. But Daniels having a great day. Here is the Seifert. They say 60? "52-yard attempt here for the Commanders. From the right hash mark. Seifert, the kick is up. It was ugly. It might have been blocked. It's definitely short and left. Thunked it. I don't know if it got blocked. 66 is showing a lot of emotion. I think 60, is that Ben Cleveland? Did he block it? Is Cleveland out there on special teams? And they're talking now to, oh my gosh, that's Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Commanders. As they, wow, yo, Julie is ruthless. If y'all didn't see, she's like, Zay Flowers is killing y'all, is what she just said to Dan Quinn. She did not spare him at all. That is wild, man. And with that, that's the end of the first half, man. What a game. But for real, man, the Ravens, I feel like the Ravens, again, if they hadn't had that first turnover, we would be up by 2 scores here instead of 1. And my God, my heart would feel so much better. But instead, I know my heart's going to be racing to the end of this game. But I guess you got to give it. At least the Ravens play exciting football. You can't argue with that fact. They'll always keep you on the edge of your seat, more than likely. But it's definitely going to be interesting if the Ravens get ahead. The Commanders haven't had that good of run blocking, but Brian Robinson's been making nothing out of something. He's plays after contact and yards after catch, just everything across the board. I think at one point he was averaging like 6 yards a play. So without him, they're definitely hurting a little bit. Michael says Mark Andrews still a beast. He is. He just, man, like I was saying earlier, after a car wreck, after the surgery, after that hip drop tackle, of course he's going to start a little slow to start the season, man. It's just going to be like that. And like we said, we say it every week, there's so many mouths to technically feed in this offense. Zay Flowers, as we're seeing today, it looks like there's a good plan for Zay. Bateman, it seems like there's a strong, looks like there's a strong wide receiver game plan today against this Commanders secondary, who coming in today, Commanders are ranked 28th according to PFF in pass coverage. So looks like the Ravens are planning for that. They're taking advantage of that.
Bateman's been averaging, I think, like a week 3, he was averaging like 5 yards of separation per route, one of the highest separation grades in the NFL. We're seeing that today. Zay's having like a historic day right now. Aguilar's been targeted early. I mean, the thing is this: there's so many mouths to feed tackling the Ravens' offense, and any offensive coordinator should be absolutely thrilled to be a part of this Ravens offense because they have so many weapons in so many different ways. 2 tight end looks? Oh, bro, we got 3 tight ends. We have 2 number 1 tight ends, and a Charlie Kolar, I think, could be a tight end number 2 on any team, basically. A Likely and Andrews, tight end number 1s. Bateman and Flowers. Flowers is a wide receiver 1 guy. Bateman, I think, has potential to be a wide receiver 1, honestly. I really think he does. Aguilar is that solid veteran guy, and Wallace and some of these other guys in the depth of the Baltimore wide receiver room are pretty good. Offensive line, slowly getting better. We've got a Pro Bowl fullback. Derrick Henry, Justice Hill. We'll bring back a run Yuki and Rasheen Ali. And, of course, we've got Keaton Mitchell, who at one point was the best back in the NFL last year. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, any offensive coordinator I think would be absolutely ecstatic. Myles Garrett got a block kick in the Cleveland. Wow. So that's how Cleveland scored. By the way, Cleveland did not score a touchdown on offense. In that Cleveland Philly game, Myles Garrett blocked a field goal and Cleveland returned it for a touchdown. That's wild, bro. Oh, Drake May finally on the board, 8 of 14 for 105 yards and a touchdown. Drake May, now that's a beautiful ball right there. That's a beautiful deep ball by Drake May to Kayshon Butte, the former LSU kid, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, let's see here. Joe Flacco, Josh Downs, and oh my God, look at that. That was beautiful. That reminded me of him throwing to Torrey Smith, honestly. And Will Levis, oh, that's a wide open blown coverage right there. Will Levis doesn't get a lot of credit for that touchdown. And I'm interested. Let's watch Spencer Rattler here. Olave, oh my God, no wonder Olave went out with a concussion. We're going to pray that Chris Olave is all right. That was a huge hit in that Tampa Bay game right there. Oh my God, New Orleans has taken back the lead in that game before halftime, 27-24. We've got a high-scoring game in New Orleans. Oh my God, who's number 44 with that touchdown? Who's number 44 with that touchdown? What a game in New Orleans. Of course, Green Blaze. Oh, Arizona's finally on the board, 7-24, and they've got the ball driving here with 52 seconds left. Cleveland and Philly all tied up 10-10, but there's nothing going on offense and for Detroit. Detroit, I'm losing my mind, dude. I got to go get some caffeine here in a moment. Here, as soon as third quarter gets started or they're coming back, I'm probably going to go get a drink. You got to make sure you don't walk away and Grossi raids your channel, right? I wonder how Grossi's doing. I know he's getting ready to make that move over to Wisconsin. That's going to be super excited for him. I so wish, talk about one of those things, what I would give to be able to, have season tickets to the Baltimore Ravens and, be able to go to the tailgates and be a part of, the flock culture and the tailgating culture and just do a lot more in the area in Baltimore, but, sadly, I feel like also I just don't produce good enough content yet to be popular enough, and it's all my own fault. It's 100% my own fault. I wish actually I could do more gaming content, to be honest with you. I wish I could do play-by-play game calling with more better football content, get into gaming content, and then if I had someone that could help me do video editing, I would actually produce and help me get the people that I need and do better shows, more focused around the Ravens. I would 100% do more football content, but it's kind of sad that since I didn't grow up in Baltimore, I grew up in the Myrtle Beach area, South Carolina. I mean, even in South Carolina, there ain't a lot of Panther fans even. I'll be honest, weirdly, there was more Steeler fans than anything. So I have like no fans or friends that are Raven fans other than maybe Azo, who's one of our moderators here in the channel. But he still lives back in South Carolina. So, you know, I just miss even like going out to the bars and hanging out with my friends and watching the games. The last Super Bowl run we had was the first and only time I actually like had friends that would go out and to the bar and hang out and watch Raven fans. And they weren't even football fans. They weren't NFL fans. They didn't watch football, but they just liked hanging out, having a drink, and just the camaraderie of it essentially. And it was fun for them. And of course, I had so much fun. They basically became honorary Raven fans that year. They became honorary Raven fans. We won the Super Bowl and went on a magical run. What up, Oak, my boy? How you doing today? My God, this game is so wild. Oh, and I'll be honest, every once in a while, I'm just like, we talk about it like a little last year, and I'll be honest, man, there's so many weeks I'm just like filled with self-doubt that I'm like, why am I doing this? No one cares. No one's going to do anything. It doesn't matter how many times I'm right on thing. I feel like, and like again, one of the things I started doing is I started doing my scouting specials because I wanted, one of my dreams is I would love to be an NFL scout. I feel like it would be a job where I could finally align something that I love to do with my career. And I know from my professional and personal life that that's hard to find, that you can find a job that you truly love that actually gives you the money as well to support yourself and create a family, basically. And it doesn't matter how many draft specials I put together and then put on a resume and cover letter to send across to NFL teams. Because like I was explaining this to my girlfriend the other day. I was like, here's the problem. While I do have some football background, I don't have an extensive enough background to be part of an NFL club or even a college team. I don't have the education either. I don't have my master's degree, which is basically where they want the starting line. And at this point in my life, I don't have 20 years to put in going and working at a high school for the next 20 years, or a high school for the next 10 years, maybe a college for the next 10 years, not really getting paid and making enough money to then, get to the entry level of scouting. I'm going to be honest, man, based on family history and shit, I'd be lucky if I live another 25 years. My father's already dead. Like, everyone in my family has history of high blood pressure, heart attacks, cancer, and like, I'd be lucky if I get another 25. So I don't have that route. And just no one cares. Like half the reason I started this channel is to get my biofuel cell idea out there. No one cares. We talked about Kenny Copeland about this. No one cares. No one wants to help people. All right, back to football though. Our mascot's name is Poe. Named, of course, after Edgar Allan Poe. We actually even have, the Ravens have a like official mascot birds, which are official ravens, that are called Poe. So, and if you don't know, Poe broke his leg like last year. So, Steve-O said, you would have whipped us, but yeah, got beat by the Titans. I know, right? Like, see anything else? All right, well, I guess I'm going to step away and make a drink to drown my sadness. I'll be right back, guys. So, BRB. I should put up another GIF. All right. We're going to make a drink on camera here. So let's see. Don't nobody ask what's in my cup. Don't worry, you don't have to ask. I'm going to make the drink for you. So we're going to have we're going to make the fancy drink here on stream here. So we got to start with the nice, it's hard to see. Yeah, there we go. The Crown Royal cup. So we got the nice Crown Royal cup. We've got our rose-shaped, so 4 roses whiskey, a rose-shaped ice mold. So let me pop this bad boy open. Ugh. So we got it. Pop out this ice. And Ravens are going to kick the ball away. So Commanders starting the ball here in the second half. Man, sometimes it's a little hard to get out, to be honest. Ugh. There we go. So here it is. Little rose-shaped ice. Drop that bad boy into the cup. You gotta admit, like that's so beautiful. Like the rose, the Crown Royal. I'm not endorsed. Beautiful. Now we're gonna take a little Crown Royal, pour it over our rose. Whew, that's cold. And, run play going left, and Kyle Van Noy's in the backfield early to stop it. All right, we got the crown. Let's add a little Coke to our crown. And we'll get to here in a second what I call the float, as it gets underneath the ice cube finally, and it floats the rose ice cube up. And just like that, we've got a pretty Crown and Coke with an ice rose cube. And over the middle, it's Daniels, and deep pass down to the 40 of the Ravens. That's Brown. Oh my God, I put too much Crown in that. Don't mind me. Oh my God. As soon as I tasted that, I was like, ooh. First and 10. Handoff going left. Good hole there. And solid gain, what looks like 5 or 6. That's Eckler. Marlon Humphrey said he was a little slow to get up after that long pass play. Baltimore culture doesn't care how popular you are. As long as you show up all purple, you're welcome at the tailgates. Exactly, my boy. Like, honestly, I've actually never even gotten to go to a Raven tailgate. I've gone to 2 Raven games. I went to a preseason game of Raven versus Panthers at the Charlotte Stadium. Did a little bit of tailgating with a guy, but like not really. And run going nowhere, loss of yards. That's Travis Jones in there. And then the other game I went to was when Ravens came down to Miami a few years ago, and Tua beat us coming back basically in that game. I was at that game, and that was disappointing. And honestly, the Miami tailgating situation and the cheap parking, the backseat parking, was garbage. So garbage. I was sitting there drinking a beer going like, where is everybody? Which, of course, I guess closer to the stadium, but like you got to walk up there and pay for shit. And I'm trying to bring my own beer and have a little I literally had to stop a cop and ask a cop, hey, am I allowed to tailgate and drink here? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, why the hell I was so confused. And we've got a false start here by the Commanders. That's going to back them up. Oh, Commanders use a timeout here. Washington, so having to use their first timeout of the game. That might come back to bite them in the butt. But I would love, like I see Sip to Tally and Ingram and all this. They do like these cookouts and charity fun. Dude, what I would give to be able to do stuff like that, man. Like, yeah. Yeah, I go drop into Coach's and Ingram's channels. Just seems like I seem to catch Coach or Sip to Tally live more than I've ever caught Ingram. But I usually try to drop in, show the other Baltimore creators some love. Like I'll like their video, and if I'm like doing some work, I'll just like leave their channel up and the volume on, so it counts as someone watching essentially, so they get that extra. 3rd and 5. Trips left here for the Commanders. Brown, the solo wide receiver right. Little bit of motion by the tight end here. My stream's about to expire. I got to renew it. Let's see here. Throw going right to Brown, and doesn't connect that time. Let me refresh that. I got to refresh where I'm watching my stream. I'm watching the stream out east, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, and that's a good route by and Seibert coming out for here for a long field goal attempt. Brown just not able to get to his spot. That's a well-thrown ball, though, by Daniels. 55-yard field goal here. Missed a 52-yarder earlier. I'm a little surprised that they're not going to punt this ball. 52-yarder was blocked by Ben Cleveland. Let's see if he can get another one. 12-50, 55-yarder from dead middle, and looks good. It is. He could have made that almost from 60 probably. And with that, Washington's going to narrow this lead, 13-17. Got to sip that drink with caution. Oak, is your house okay after the hurricane? We are, thankfully. So for those that don't know, we live down here in Florida. We took a direct hit from Ian. Of course, Milton was coming towards us, and luckily for us, we were on the southern side of Hurricane Milton. So, we got a little bit of bad wind, but it wasn't that bad. Like we had a tornado touchdown up the road from us that absolutely thrashed. But a lot of the tornadoes were to the north of us, basically. And so thankfully we were okay. But we had a tornado touchdown maybe like 5 miles down the road from us that destroyed the highway it was on. And then a lot focused up. If you haven't seen, man, that tornado by I-75 was probably about 10 minutes down the road from me. So we got a little bit of bad wind, so we got some bad storm surge, but thankfully, it wasn't nothing compared to Hurricane Ian hitting us. And, of course, nothing compared to what the north side of that storm got, which if you weren't following like my tweets and my messages, we knew the north side of where this storm's hit was going to get thrashed. There was a cold front moving across the U.S., and I told everyone, wherever this cold front meets and intercepts this storm are going to have some of the most violent storms we've seen, are going to see out of this entire thing. And we saw that exactly unfold. It's just simple as that. You have a giant high pressure tornado or low pressure, meeting a low pressure front, high low. It's as simple as that. It's just so wild, too, is if you listen to what the NFL says in their disclaimer, any descriptions, any, what do you call it? Basically, even saying anything about the game is supposed to be copyrighted, which is absolutely wild. So you're not even allowed to talk about the game, guys. Copyright. All right, Ravens, let's go score and let's put my heart at ease a little bit. Michael says, I'm drinking Absolute with apple juice. Oh, my gosh. That's a good one. That's a good one, actually. One of my favorites is a Crown and Ginger. Man, if you haven't had a Crown and Ginger, it's a good one. But so has anyone heard about the Ciroc story yet with Diddy? So, supposedly, some of the stuff that Diddy was doing might have come to light due to private investigators hired by Ciroc. So, as the story that I've heard goes, there was a lawsuit in between Ciroc and Diddy, where Diddy was suing Ciroc over a breach of contract or something like that. To at which point, Ciroc hired a bunch of private investigators to dig up something so that they could prove that Diddy basically was breaking a morality clause, or such, so that they could basically get out of the deal. And via this investigating by some private investigators, we may have uncovered some more evidence on Diddy that the private investigators then, by honor and duty bound, forwarded to federal investigators and departments, which then, of course, escalated the investigation and took it over. So if that is true, a lot of people I've seen in the comments were like, hey, bro, if this is true, Ciroc all day. We only pop in Ciroc in the club again. And run up the middle, going to be only a gain of 1. So 3rd and 1 or 2 yards now here. 11:50 left here in the 3rd. Let's see here. And Henry checking out on a 3rd and 2. I don't like that, but I guess it makes sense. I would run the ball here with Hill, but of course, because Hill's coming in, I would spread everyone else out after that. I'd go like 4 wide, put Hill in there because they would think a pass is coming, and then I'm running. I'm 100. But they've got a bunch of guys here up at the line of scrimmage. Trips left here. The quarterback keeper, Lamar's going to run it. He's got a lane. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, and he's tackled down at looks like the 28-yard line. 11-15, and that's a great read. And that's one of those ones where they can do that constantly. 1, 2, 3, 1. I mean, that's an even number game. If you count the numbers on that with Justice Hill and the tight end on the right side here, you've got an exact and even number. If every guy hits their block, Lamar should be open and be able to basically, the only guy that should be on Lamar is the offside linebacker on the opposite side or a safety. And that's a simple number game, quarterback keeper call. Beautifully run. 1st and 10. Play action. Oh, good pocket. Lamar going on the left sideline. That's likely. And makes the first man miss. And he's down at what looks like the 11 or 12-yard line in the red zone. 1st down. Ball on the 11. Steve-O says, look at my last 2 gambles. Says I won 10,000, but my points are the same. I need a recount. Steve-O, gamble. 928192. I only see 1. I don't know why. I don't see the second one, Steve-O. It did, Steve-O. That's weird, bro. Streamlabs be cheating. Zay, handoff, and able to gain some yards. Looked like it was going to be a loss, and able to gain about 3, maybe 2. Pusha says, I did not like how they disrespected Lamar all week like Daniels is on Lamar's level. I like Jaden, but he only won 5 games. Lamar's done 69 games so far. I feel you on that, Pusha. But I will admit, Jaden Daniels has some of the throws I've watched Jaden Daniels make over the past 2 weeks have been crazy. 9 receptions, most in any half in team history, and 132 receiving yards in the first half. That's 4th most. Lamar, little pump fake right, pump fake left, another pump fake, buying time. He's still going, and he's going to get sacked finally, and probably should have just thrown that ball away after the 4th pump fake instead of losing 4 yards on the sack. But 3rd and 12 here in the red zone. Steve-O said, I've been saying they've been cheating me. I know, Steve-O. I know, man. I feel you. Let me see. I want to check something on the gamble minigame. I'm going to go. See, 26 through 50 is supposed to be a one-time multiplier. I don't know. Weird. Lamar buying time, rolling right. We've got a flag. It's going to be a hold. And Lamar's going to throw this away, but this is going to back him up even further. Yeah, it's still way too early in the season, but man, his arm strength and I watched him literally flick a ball 70 yards with the flick of his wrist the other day while rolling out, jumping out of bounds, rolling right, taking a hit, and he flicked his wrist and threw it 75 yards in one of the other games I was covering. It was absolutely wild. Oh, they're going to decline the holding penalty. Seriously, hey, bud, I'm back. Early game of the day right here. Oh, I know, right? Always. You know, I'm supposed to be covering it Carolina versus Atlanta tonight, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am not going to be calling that game tonight. Just, I don't know, maybe if it was because we were like an apocalypse scenario and then everything was okay. I just ain't been feeling right this week, like mentally and physically. Here's Tucker. Already made one from 45 today. This one from 32 to make it a 10-point game again. Or I'm sorry, 7-point game. And it's good, of course. Justin Automatic Tucker makes this a 13-20 game, Ravens. That's what we like to see. And if you're sipping on an adult beverage like me, we got our fancy ice rose cube, rose ice cube in our Crown cup. We sipping on that Crown and Coke. That's wild, Steve-O. Streamlabs 100% just straight cheated you. And I know you can have more points than that because I have more points than that. That's wild. I know. I got to think of some really good things you can redeem points for in Streamlabs. Like, what I would like to do is eventually change the way the points work and then make better and funner prizes. Like, case in point, if I was doing games and streaming games, basically, the redemption points would have fun things. Like case in point, if I was playing Fortnite, I might have a thing where you could redeem loyalty points and just make me drop everything and walk away from all my loot, basically. That could be a thing, like, for the redemption points. I don't have the TV still set up yet because I got to get a different drill now or something. But until then, I have my Xbox set up another TV, so I can't stream anything like game-wise. But I've been back to playing a little bit of like Overwatch, we haven't played Fortnite with the girlfriend. I play League of Legends, ARAM, and TFT, which every once in a while I think about streaming again, but I know it might be rough. How did you make out with the storm? We were lucky, Steven. We were on the southern side of this storm, and like 20 minutes north of us got absolutely destroyed by tornadoes. So we were lucky. We were blessed that we weren't destroyed as much. We got a direct hit by Ian, and we were prepping down here. Where we were at down here, every gas station was out of gas. What they did to help that is the airport actually opened up their own private gas reservoir because they're also able to fly fuel in instead of drive it in. So that was the only place that had gas. Every store was out of everything. Every gas station was out of gas. The roads were overwhelmed with people evacuating. They were opening the emergency shoulders to help try to relieve the traffic. But like, we had someone that left our apartment complex at like 9 p.m. the night before and at 5 a.m. the next day. So, like, what's that? Like 8 hours later, they had only made it 2 hours away to Tampa, basically. So it was just that bad, people trying to evac and get out. And, but we got lucky. So we're blessed for that. Oh, you got the weak eye in Melbourne. Uh-oh. Down there in Melbourne, they're called typhoons, correct? Y'all got typhoons, not hurricanes down there in the southern hemisphere, technically. Is that what the technical definition of it's in the southern hemisphere, it's a typhoon. If it's in the northern, it's a hurricane? Is that how that works technically? Third time in 3 years. Bro, yeah, we're supposed to get a hurricane once every 5 years, and we get them every year now. And hurricane, there's still systems working out there in the Atlantic. Daniels going deep down the left sideline. Got a man. And that's a first down throw. And that's Zach Ertz's first catch of the day. Oh, you're down here in Florida. How are you? Okay. Oh, Melbourne. That's up towards the Panhandle, isn't it? Melbourne, Florida. Is that towards the Big Bend up there in the Panhandle, or is that on the opposite side towards Jacksonville? Everyone says Tampa's protected by the natives. And run up the middle by McNichols. That's probably a gain of 5 on the play. 7:35 here left in the third quarter. Yeah, I'm down here in Fort Myers is where I'm at. So we took that direct hit from Ian. NFL fact. This is the third quarterback matchup between reigning Heisman and NFL MVP winners. That's kind of cool, actually. 2nd and 6. Ball on the 44-yard line. And ball tipped down to the line of scrimmage. I believe that was Brent Urban getting his hand on it. And that's what Brent used to be known for. Happy to see him active here. Okay, yep, due east to Tampa. Okay. So you're only about 2 hours away from me, Steven. I think Tampa is about 2 hours away, if I'm not mistaken. I'm so jealous, Steven. Y'all got Raising Cane's and Del Tacos up in your area. We don't have a Raising Cane's down here. I want to open one so bad. Put Zaxby's out of business. 3rd and 6. It's also because we got PDQ down here. Oh, okay, I know Cocoa Beach. I actually went there when I was a kid. And Ngakwe chasing him. Oh, no! Darius had an easy interception. Literally hits him in the face, bro. Oh, my God. Oh, that's an easy an interception as you could get. Hits him like in the chest plate, actually. Face plate, chest plate, and he just drops it. When I was a kid, my last family vacation, I remember this. We went to Kennedy Space Center. We went to Cocoa Beach and Kennedy Space Center. I took my first ever swamp boat ride. And, oh no, bad bounce here for the Ravens, and it's down at the 5. So Ravens have 95 yards here to go. 6:50 left in the 3rd. Yeah, Kennedy Space Center is actually a cool place to take your kids. If your kids like into science and space and all that. Of course, it's a little more expensive than it used to be when I was a kid, but absolutely cool little thing to do. So many cool little like activities to do and things to talk about. I know every time they have the rockets come in or we have like a shuttle launch, I'm always trying to see it. Fort Myers out 2 G's OP. I don't know what that means. Update across the NFL though. Tennessee now leading the Colts 17-10. They've got 6 minutes left in their 3rd quarter. Still all tied up in Philly, Cleveland. I don't know what's going on in Philly. They should absolutely be leading more in that game. They've got 2:50 left. Philly has the ball and driving. Arizona finally showing some signs of life. They're still down though, 24-10 against the Packers. Texans push their lead and extend it 21-7 over the Patriots. They're halfway through the 3rd quarter. And Tampa Bay and New Orleans still in halftime. New Orleans and Spencer Rattler have made a miraculous comeback at halftime. They lead 27-24 against the Buccaneers. That might be a game to keep an eye on after all the other 1 o'clock games finish. Michael says, I did not expect the score to be this low so far. I agree, Michael. But you know what? If Mark Andrews hadn't basically messed up that catch and given up an interception, the Ravens would have had another 7. So it definitely would have been a little higher. Larry says, seriously, running QBs don't get the respect pocket passers do. I'm guilty of that too because I'm 58. Hey, it be like that, but the game is shifting. And it's something I've enjoyed when I used to play Madden. I'm all about throw power. If you can't throw the deep ball with accuracy, I can't fuck with you as a quarterback. That's my number one prereq as a quarterback, like when I'm playing games. But there is nothing better when everything's covered. They just had great, coverage and everything's broken down. There's nothing better than a quarterback that can realize that there's no one looking at him, no one in the middle of the field, and just take off for a free first down. I absolutely love it. Okay, Okeechobee. Oh, you're up there near the Ocala area where it's real nice. The Okeechobee is actually the area that feeds a lot of the river systems that go to the southern part of Florida, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're trying. Oh no, Okeechobee's where the lake is, where they actually have some problems. I think when Lake Okeechobee has issues, all the southern Florida river systems get bacteria problems. So they're trying to stop problems. Or it's like when they release Okeechobee water, all of the southern waters in Florida get elevated nitrogen levels, and then therefore bacteria forms in our water south of Okeechobee. Steven says, I see the Rockets all the time and hear the sonic booms when the boosters. That's so cool, man. I wish I did. Henry, run lone left, and he's got a first down and some. Let's go. 6:08 with a fresh set of downs. Yeah, seriously. Rattler is starting there. Chris Olave went out with a concussion earlier as well, so I don't know if they have any Chris Olave for the Saints. But Spentler Rattler is actually having a pretty decent day over there. Steven says Ravens playing like a good team. Look, they are honestly, since Rosengarten has come in at right tackle, the Ravens offensive line has played significantly better. Like, there's no question about that. Like, alert, alert. Little play action. Good pocket. Lamar over the middle. Got a man. That's Mark Andrews. Gain of 15 on the play, it looks like. Jeremy Chin, the tackle. Yeah, let me see here. I'm trying to find the lineup thing. Usually I can. There's a lineup thing I can do here. Weird, it's gone. I guess because it's playing right now. Premium stats. By team. Baltimore Ravens. Let's see here. 2nd and 6. King Henry checking out. 4:20 left here in the third quarter. Ball on the 39-yard line of the Ravens. So they're looking to approach. Pass rush comes. Lamar gets out of it and gains a yard. Not much, so. Yeah. The real story is Stanley and Linderbaum are playing outstanding. McCary's playing pretty decent at left guard, a little bit better than Voorhees. Falele has been slowly stepping his play up, honestly. Let me see here. Where is... Five of 8 on third down. 3rd and 5. And pass going right, and that's got to be pass interference. Yep, Bateman on the ground, and the Commanders player can't believe it. And Falele has been playing much better since Buffalo. His pass block grade has been pretty good. Had a weak game against Cincinnati, but he's been playing better since Rosengarten's taken over at right tackle, honestly. Oh, they're saying it's not a penalty, but yeah. 1st and 10. Ball on the 50-yard line here. Strong formation left here for the Ravens. Little play action. Lamar looking left. Deep down the left sideline. Wide open. There's no one by Mark Andrews. And he's tackled just short of the 15. That looks like out at the 17-yard line. Obvious breakdown in the zone coverage of the Commanders, and Lamar takes advantage of it. Yeah, Larry says, yeah, the Army Corps of Engineers always adjusting the lake water releases. Yep. And Andrews is finally stepping up, and yep, that's like, looks like, I don't know what kind of coverage that is. Someone, though, messes up there, though. Yeah, Andrews, I mean, everyone said Andrews was going to be back. It just took some time. He had the car accident, in the preseason, and just if Likely's playing well, you got to, play with both. Henry up the middle and strong run. Looks like a gain of maybe 6 on the play. 2:40 left here in the third quarter. Oh my God, dude, my stomach just dropped. I rolled out of bed and started streaming, guys. I have not had a single thing to eat. I had a really small dinner last night, and I'm already drinking Crown and Coke on a stomach with 4 shots of espresso in it. My stomach is so upset with me right now. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm so hungry. I cannot wait for this game to finish so I can go eat. 2nd and 5. Little fake jet sweep, hand up of the middle, open hole, and no one there as Henry's going to walk into the end zone. 2nd touchdown of the day for King Henry. And that's a good play design right here. So Zay, the man in motion, a little early to be the jet sweep, honestly. A little missed time maybe. But no matter what, there's just nobody there. Good blocking in the middle of that low line. And like I said, Henry's going to walk in untouched. Michael said, what's also helping the finally is the Ravens offensive line have cut down their false start. Exactly. Like the false start, the illegal formations. They were just having some serious penalty problems. And you're absolutely correct on that, by the way. Touchdown, Ravens! Can I be there with the Ravens guy? R-A-V-E-N-S, Ravens. I forgot what his actual name is. I know that's kind of bad. And it kind of looked like maybe one of the safeties on that deep reception to Mark Andrews was supposed to pass off someone deep to one of the other safeties. And instead of passing off his guy to the other Commanders player, he stayed with them, which then left Mark Andrews wide open. I could be wrong on that, but that's what it kind of looked like on a first take look from the play. I'm sorry, let me update the score real quick here. 27. Whew, I am tired. Whew, about to make a name for myself. You just make sure you let people know what happened here today, okay? Whew. My God, this game is wild. All the games are wild today. I'm watching right now Tampa Bay versus they're trying to rule if this is an incomplete or is this a fumble by the Saints. If it's ruled a fumble, this could be a catch, fumble, and recovery by the Saints, which would be huge. I'm sorry, by the Buccaneers, which would be huge. It would be catch by the Saints, fumbled. And then there's a face mask. My God, that Tampa New Orleans game is getting wild in the NFC South. Yeah, what is he, 19? No, he's now 20-1 against NFC teams. And, of course, here's another stat line for you here. The Ravens are 18-2 all-time at home against rookie quarterbacks. Generally speaking, rookie quarterbacks do not come into Baltimore and play well. Very few have come in and done so. And only 2 have literally escaped with a win so far. Oh, Houston just scored again. It's now 27-7 lead. Houston over New England. Arizona slowly clawing back in that game. Green Bay's leads narrowed 24-13. Spencer Rattler, though, so far 13 of 22 for 170 yards and a touchdown. Not having a bad day. Looks like Goodson's taken over in the backfield, though, for the Colts over Sermon. He's at 5 rushes for 44 yards, so sad day for Trey Sermon, fantasy football owners. And look at that, 8-play, 94-yard drive for the Ravens. Ravens have had multiple 90-plus yard drives today. That's exactly, I mean, you cannot write it up to be better. Like Steven said, that's got to be a record or something. I agree. It's got to be like some type of record against like opposite. And they're trying to get this. I saw 109 decibels. Come on, Raven fans, get it loud. I don't know what actually like really loud is. Let's see. We just saw 109. Let's Google this real quick. Loudest decibel count NFL stadium. So the loudest decibel count ever recorded in an NFL stadium was at the Chiefs Stadium during the 2014 game against the Patriots at 142.2. Come on, Ravens. The best we got is 109. Chief fans are doing 142. Let's get loud. If Lamar wins, 22-1 ratio. That's wild. And little run up the middle here. Gain of what looks like maybe 2 on the play. Max 3. Whew. About to make a name for myself. Like someone said, Ravens, keep the foot on the gas. Keep it going. Do not let off on these Commanders. Jaden Daniels got way too strong of an arm to be let off the gas. You got to keep coming after him here. Eckler, the man in motion here for the Commanders. Over the middle. Wide open, tight end. That's Hurts, and that's a gain of what looks like maybe about 13 on the play. So first down. So apparently Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud, super competitive. Jaden Daniels is trying to pass CJ Stroud's rookie stats so hard, apparently. That's good. That's such a good rivalry to have right there. And little RPO running back keeps it and looks like a gain of maybe 5 on the play. Down at the 50-yard line. Packers now 31. They just scored again. Oh my God. That was, I think Romeo Doubs just scored. Yep. They're now up 31-13 on the Cardinals. My God, bro. That's wild. And like they're saying, Jaden Daniels having one of the best starts of rookie quarterbacks ever. And here we are, 2nd and 5. Double motion here for the Commanders. Strong left formation. Little play action. Roquan blitzing. He's going to get the hit. And catch made though by Ertz. And he's down at the 25-yard line as Roquan hits Daniels as he delivers the ball over the middle. And the Ravens are starting to show some big holes over the middle. That's twice now. There has been nobody there. And that's Nate Wiggins in coverage. And Zach Ertz absolutely leaves Nate Wiggins on that coverage. How did Zach Ertz burn Nate Wiggins? Hurts did the crosser, and when Hurts made his cut, Wiggins, I didn't see Hurts push him, but it looked like Wiggins just drifted off of him backwards so hard on that play and gave him the biggest cushion I've seen Nate give almost anybody. That was a weird play. That was a weird play for Nate Wiggins. Got to be honest. Oh, man. Come on, Ravens. I do not need another heartbreaking game. I do not need another heart attack. They already killed me last week. I'll be right back, guys, while we're on a commercial break. Actually, I'm going to be right back, and then I'm going to refill my beverage when I come back. So give me one moment. Pardon my absence. Empty chair cam. Enjoy my Raven memorabilia in the background. Oh my God, the play I just came back to. And how are they going to throw a flag on that? That's not And McLaurin just leveled by Kyle Hamilton on that play. Good catch. I came back to one hell of a play. Like, oh, did I never open the betting? I'm so dumb. I guess so, Steve-O. I think that's actually how it works. I believe so on the low rolls because there's some of the multipliers are 1, meaning technically you win your money back. Because on the gamble, it actually won't let me put negative multipliers. So I was going to change it so that, oh, I'm glad that's a good call. That's, yep. I'm glad they picked that back up. I'm so glad, but good catch by McLaurin there. Little play action. Daniels rolling out right, getting chased by Robinson and has to throw this one away. Humphrey tries to make a diving interception. And 14:40 here as we're officially, guys, in the fourth quarter. And it did look almost like a head, neck, shoulder, but it was delivered just under the neck area. Great hit by Kyle Hamilton. That's why we love him, man. Let's watch. They're showing the hit again. Let's watch it. And that's his shoulder to his shoulder, basically. Textbook. 2nd and 10. 14:41. Ball on the 13-yard line as the Commanders are in the red zone here. Daniels going to keep it going right. And nothing as he jumps out of bounds as Nate Wiggins tries to tackle him. 3rd and 10. Big play here for the Commanders. I'm so glad they picked it up too. Yeah, Steve, I might make the multiplier 0 on some of the other rolls, so it's harder to win money. Or the bigger rolls, like case point, if you roll 99 like we saw with David McNiner earlier, you win like 5 times your bet, basically, at least. Daniels over the middle, got him, man. Ace down at the 1. That hurts as the Ravens are now struggling over the middle. That is... like every throw has been over the middle right now. And Roquan diving, trying to make a pass deflection, unable to get there. And that's Roquan and Trenton Simpson there. 1st and goal. Eckler up the middle, and he's not going to get it. Loses a yard maybe even. And like Tony Romo said, the number 1 run defense in the NFL, I probably don't want to be in shotgun running the ball right here. And like he's saying, you're not going to run against the Ravens in a spread formation right now. And that's a lot due to Madubuike, Travis Jones, Brent Urban, Broderick Washington, and Michael Pierce. And late substitution here. Kyle Hamilton doesn't know where he's going. And they're going to go quarterback sneak. And Daniels gets leveled on the play. And that's going to be... and even Tony Romo knew it looks like it's going to be a quarterback play. That's not the right play to run right here. And he takes a pretty big hit from Roquan right there. Roquan goes to try to deliver a big hit as Kyle Van Noy takes... if Kyle Van Noy had not taken Jaden Daniels' legs out on that play, Jaden would have took a huge hit by Roquan. And we've got an illegal shift on the offense anyway, so back it on up anyway. You know, on the betting, I'm not sure on the betting how that works. And my dumb butt never opened the betting on the game, so I screwed up there, Steve. That's my fault. Too many guys on the line of scrimmage, so it was illegal formation. 2nd and goal. 5.5-yard line. Daniels getting pressured. He's going to toss it up, and it makes it to the sideline past the so that's not a intentional grounding. Good stuff. 3rd and goal from the 5.5. Ravens are trying to make a huge stand right now. And good job by the Ravens. Who else was there? I think that was Tavius Robinson in there with Kyle Van Noy. And Tavius Robinson showing some serious growth this year for the Ravens. We're really excited about him. The former, 5th round pick from last year? Looking right, going there, ball's tipped! And Nate Wiggins tips the ball. Marcus Williams almost could have got the interception. And like Tony Romo was saying, if I'm Dan Quinn, I'm going for this right now. And I kind of understand that. And Nate Wiggins sitting on inside leverage on that slant, sitting on it all day, beats his guy to the ball. Wow, Washington is 8 for 8 on 4th downs this season. This one a 4th and goal, 5.5 yards again. Actually, more like 6.5, I should say. And we've got a timeout. I'm guessing Washington. And Baltimore actually using their timeout. That's a good timeout, John Harbaugh. For once, I actually get to say that. The Ravens do have all 3 timeouts. Actually, yes. Thank you, John Harbaugh. Thank you. That was a great timeout. I normally don't ever say that. I say that so little that I'm about to pull up my YouTube thing just so I can make a marker of that. Stream marker added. John Harbaugh, that was an excellent timeout. I actually don't generally get to say that, and I was somewhat thinking about doing it myself, and you beat me to it. Congratulations, John Harbaugh. I appreciate you, and I see growth, and I love it. That's a great timeout by Baltimore's defense with all 3 left to make sure, because we already saw that we had some miscommunication issues on the previous play. Or 2 plays ago. Let's not let that happen. Let's make sure we shut it down. Good passing lanes. It looks like we might have a blitz coming from Kyle Hamilton on the right. It doesn't. He backs out of it. Oh my God! They say it's a catch. Brandon Stevens and Terry McLaurin fighting in close coverage. McLaurin with a diving catch. Stevens diving for the pass deflection. And they're saying it's a touchdown. Let's watch the replay. Oh my God. Oh my God. What a throw and catch and what coverage. Like again, this is a diving catch probably 2 feet from the sideline into Terry McLaurin's pocket of his arms. He makes the catch. Brandon Stevens, the Ravens defensive back, is diving, even has a hand in there in the pocket. And McLaurin's, that's just great throw, great catch, great coverage. You can't be mad on any side. The PAT's blocked. Oh my God, that's huge. Wait, it's in? We don't know. They said it wasn't in. They added the PAT. Let's watch the replay. They're not going to show us a replay of that? They're saying it's now good. So 2027, we've got a game here in Baltimore. Kenny said, woke up in the morning feeling like Jaden Daniels. Dude, Kenny, I was talking about you earlier, man. Your fantasy team with Zay right now. Zay's having a historic day right now. Yeah, exactly like Steven said. Brandon Stevens has his arm in there. And that's the second time today someone's made a great catch. And that's why I'm saying people are like, oh, Ravens coverage. Don't get me wrong. We've had some problems over the middle and stopping passes over the middle. But to put anything on our DBs is outrageous and wild. Even like Marlon, when Marlon had these people going over 100 yards, if you watch the game, Marlon was usually step in step just like those on top of him. You gotta love, man. That was such a bad commercial right there on NBC. There was never worse. That was elementary school cutting. you get millions into your super PAC, and that's the best commercial you could put out. Wow, that definitely shows. Definitely shows. Let's go. Josh Means, wide receiver for New Orleans. It's the 12th ranked wide receiver in fantasy football. Cole Kmet, 24 points for Chicago. Balled out this week. Looking at the top fantasy football. Kenny says, Zay, Devonta, Jaden, Tank, all good today. Bucky Irby let me down. I got to check, actually. That reminds me to go check on my fantasy football team right now and see how they're doing. I need to pull up my ESPN one as well. Where is my ESPN? Oh, I'm not signed in. That's too much work. Ooh. One of the guys almost got their hands on it. Urban almost got it. Oof. It barely made it. It did go in. That's a good PAT. Urban almost got it. Ben Cleveland and Brent Urban almost got a hand on that ball again. And we're going to get a kick return here from Hardy. Or this is Justice Hill, I'm sorry, and only 22-yard gain. So going to lose 8 yards on the return, technically. Kenny says Tampa won't run. I mean, dude, they had the lead, and then Spencer Rattler and that New Orleans team made a huge comeback. They've got to be throwing the ball to stay relevant, to stay up with them, basically. Like, crazy. Travis Jones is actually the number 1 rated defensive lineman for Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, 279 yards passing today. As Baltimore with a 7-point lead, looking to score and take some time off the clock here. I want to see a good, healthy dose of running here, Baltimore. Let's get it going. Toss play going right. Ricard, the lead blocker, got a little space. And there we go. And Henry's actually had some pretty good success on these outside runs. And that's what you got to do. You have to be able to run outside and inside as a halfback. And Henry's showing he can still do it. It just looks different because he runs with like a different speed and with patience, basically. Washington just lost another defensive lineman with a pectoral injury. That's rough. Tampa, though, now has a 31-27 lead. So if they can stop New Orleans, they can start running the ball, hopefully. Bucky wasn't having a bad day running the ball early. Oh, my God, my stomach. 2nd and 2. Handoff going up the middle. That's Henry, and good gain. First down. Oh, gosh. And for those that don't know, I rolled out of bed and started streaming. I had 4 shots of espresso, and now I'm drinking Crown and Coke. And my stomach is absolutely letting me hear it right and feel it right now. Oh, my God. I got to go get something to eat here in just a second. I'm going to wait after this next play. And not apologies. I'm just going to have to go get like a cracker or something. Stuff 3 crackers in my mouth. Have a 10-second gopher movement. Steven says, moving downfield. We are, man. 35-yard line now here. Little blitz coming. Lamar picks it up. Pass play and just sitting down just past the 50. That's Rashad Bateman. And again, you can tell there's a game plan for these wide receivers today, and they're having a big day. Coming into this game, Washington had the 28th ranked coverage unit, and it is showing. And yep, Bateman just sits down in the zone. Ball's a little low, so he has to dive down to his knees to catch the ball, but no matter what, that's great. Yep, Kenny says, yep, hoping Tampa would take a big lead. They're getting there. They're getting there. 1st and 10. Ball on the 49-yard line. 10 minutes left in the 4th. Strong eye. Lamar under center. Handoff going to Henry. And number 54 there of the Commanders did a good job of stopping Henry and then getting some help to push him back. All right, I'll be right back, guys. And St. Jude is having a hard time against Rashad Bateman as he makes another big catch. Washington brings a little bit of pressure on the right side of the offensive line for Ravens. Justice Hill does a great job picking him up. Bateman with so much separation. And then makes his man miss even after. Like, this is just like a little slant, basically. Good job with Likely. A little pick route designed into it. And easy money. Easy. 3 chicken wing with the fried rice. I be like. 3 chicken wing with the fried rice. I be like. I do love me some fried rice, though. I love fried rice so fucking much. I buy sushi rice just specifically to fry it because it fries differently than regular short grain rice. Like, I have tried so many different types of rice, frying rice, but actually, in my opinion, sushi rice has been one of the better rices to fry for me. Steven says, they moving and shaking. They can't stop him. No spare rib. Oh, man, I actually had brisket yesterday. My girlfriend, every weekend, she's like, would it be bad if I said I wanted barbecue again? And I'm like, I mean, if that's what you want, my babe, let's go get it. Oh, a little RPO. Lamar keeps it and takes nothing. He's going to lose yards on the play. That's a good defensive call, honestly, by Washington. Whew. I'm eating little Ritz cracked cheese crackers right now. It's one of my go-to little snacks to get me through the day usually. Little 6-pack of crackers. Lamar got a man that's Likely and spinning trying to get to that first down. He's down at the 8 yards, so Baltimore might go for the field goal here. .39-yard attempt here for Tucker, and we know because Gamecast, it's good. Got it. Let's go. And we got a 10.2 score game for the Ravens with 6:18 left. Close one here in Baltimore. You know, they're just talking about sometimes you got to bring pressure if you're a team because you have to create a negative play early on downs. Like, case in point, let me give you an example. The West Coast offense is designed to get good, easy first downs with short passing. So the key to the West Coast offense is always to get positive plays on the first down, usually via run. And that's what you teach a running back. Hey, you cannot take a loss here on this first down. I need you to get at least something. As long as I can get into a 3rd and 5 or shorter, I have a pass play designed to get us to that first down. You know what I'm saying? Or, again, get the big play via setting up the short passing game first. So you have to create that negative play. I know I'm a little wild here. I don't really play Madden anymore. I don't even know if my Xbox can play this generation of Madden. Like, I know College Football 25 can't be played on old gen, so I think last year was the final year Madden was going to be on old gen as well. But when I used to play Madden, I'm not going to lie to you guys. My pressure rate, like our blitz rate, I bring the blitz. I bring the blitz in a bunch of different ways. I'm going to bring a bunch of man blitzes early in the game when my corners are fresh. When my corners need some breaks, you know, I'll start mixing in some zone looks in there and stuff like that. But by forcing certain blitzes, I also take away good run. As long as I call good blitzes. Good blitzes and proper adjustments can also take away the run game. And so I think, God forbid, they go for a play action and I get a free blitzer. You know what I'm saying? But But I'd go heavy. I go a lot of cover 1 looks early in the game. I then start moving to more cover 2, cover 3 looks later in the game. And then, of course, I usually don't mix zone blitzes in as much until I'm really looking to cause some chaos. Like, until I've hit on a couple blitzes a few times, and then I'll throw a zone look from, like, I'll line up what looks like a man look and a man blitz I might have ran earlier, and then I like to prefer to run it from a zone blitz on the opposite side. Like, I can have a guy run a cover 2 and walk up to the line of scrimmage like he's about to be man coverage, and then either drop into a pure cover 3 off snap, or maybe give a short jam and drop into like a little curl flat, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just really jam the deep. Like, if I got a slot guy in real life, if I got a slot guy that's killing me, I'm going to jam that motherfucker. I'm going to line someone up him, even though it's zone. I'm going to give the clearance on that zone every time to jam him and absolutely disrupt the timing of the route. I like to play a little bit sometimes. It's hard to find a good playbook that does it, but a good man zone look where you design the defense where there is just one good corner. You go straight Darrelle Revis style, where you have your best corner line up against whoever you're trying to take out of the game. Wherever they line up, doesn't matter. You just tell your defense that that play call is designed to be with account for 10 men instead of 11 men on the field, essentially. And you just shadow one person 100%. I like doing that to some players. Whenever they have a guy that's 100% like their go-to, like a Megatron type of player, oh, it's so frustrating for them. They hate it. Just find your number one fastest man guy and just line him up on him and just let him go all game. Streamlab's going to fetch that Gatorade or something. 1st and 10. My apologies. Handoff up the middle by Eckler. Run maybe of 3 or 4 on the play. 5:45, and I mean, Washington doesn't really have time to be running the ball right now. Like, I mean, 5:30 left. Like I said, it's time that you're down by 2 scores. I'm not going to lie. I'd be moving to a quicker pace offense here. And I don't know why the dual function doesn't work. It's you got to do exclamation point accept Kenny to try it. Second and 7. Like they said, they wasted 35 seconds off the clock. And Daniels tries to spin out a sack, but he's going to go down. And that's Yannick Ngakoue, I think, was the man there. The recent addition, signed to the practice squad and elevated, of course. Let's watch him matched up against the left tackle here. A little jump club rip move, basically, where they kind of hop, step, club, rip. And gets the hip of Daniels, spins him out, and then the Ravens finish him. Great job. And that's where you kind of like take that jump hop step to the outside after you get them off balance. Club, rip. He's got the outside edge. Make sure you duck that shoulder to get under and really drive through to the quarterback. Good pressure by Owe there. Pass over the middle. Hurts, and he's just short of the first down, but we've got a flag on the play. In the offensive backfield. This is going to be a hold, Tony Romo's saying. Kenny, I will throw the glove at your feet and bite my thumb at thee, sir. Davis, I'm on way with that white glove. I'm going to slap you in the face with it, throw it on the ground, bite my thumb at thee, and call your mother a peasant. Chimera, I'm on a bus right now, but GG's to Raven. Look like it. Hopefully you're doing well, man. We're doing good down here. Hope we didn't get hit too bad. You're on a bus right now. Where are you going, Chimera? 4th and long after that holding penalty. Or 3rd and 20, I'm sorry. I'm not on the 4th down yet, sadly. My stream I'm watching is behind everyone else's and the Gamecast, sadly. Because I'm poor and don't have cable. And, oh! Humphrey delivers a big hit to Zacchaeus. He's down at the 40-yard line, and now it's a 4th and long. 4th and 12 officially. Ooh, Jerome Ford left the Cleveland Brown game with a... Cleveland returned a field goal for a touchdown? Are you serious? Cleveland's determined to score a touchdown every way other than offense today. They blocked a kick, or maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Never mind. 4th and 12. They're going for it. Taking a shot deep, looking for a flag probably. And no flag. Brown's looking for one. Oh, we've got a flag late. Oh, that's tough. Nate hasn't seen it yet. And they were definitely just looking for a flag, going back to campus. Hey, I'm glad you got to go home for the weekend. I hope you had a good weekend home with the family, my guy. I mean, yeah, he's kind of holding him there for a minute. That's rough. And right there, he's kind of is holding. You can see his jersey. He's kind of like getting pulled down around the shoulder. Yep. That's the correct call. It's a heartbreaker, but... Oh, 4th down off penalty. That's a good call, though. Kingsbury probably told him take a shot deep, put a lot of air under it, let him fight for it, and try to get a flag. I mean, Joe Flacco used to do that same type of thing, let's be honest. So, let's be honest. 3:40 here. Daniels. Oh, he's getting pressured, and oh my God! He tries to juke out of it, and Michael Pierce, the 300-plus tackle, just... That looked painful. It looks like he's setting up a screen. Something happens here. Oh, the Ravens sniff it out, and Michael Pierce just catches him mid-arm with his right arm and just throws him down. 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Ball on the 37. Play action. Daniels rolling out to his left, getting chased by Kyle Van Noy. And he's just going to run out of bounds. Maybe a gain of a few. 3rd and probably 8, 9. Manageable, like Tony says. Kenny says, the person I'm playing had Ford and Jacoby Myers. Oof, that's rough. Kenny says, Bucky just had a 33-yard run. Let's go, Bucky. I've got him starting on one of my teams today. Yeah, we winning, John. We winning. Let me see here. Zach Bond, only 7 tackles? I might have to switch him out for Spillane. 3rd and 8, and Roquan calling a timeout here. He was screaming for something. Looks like the Ravens were having a miscommunication on defense again today. Wouldn't be the first one. Kenny says, Jaden's coming. He's trying, man. He's trying. Jaden's had a good day. And if there's the thing, if Zacchaeus wouldn't have dropped some of those balls on Jaden, we could be talking about a completely different game right now for the Commanders. So don't get it twisted. I mean, same thing, though, goes on the first drive. Mark Andrews basically bobbled a ball, ended up going to the Commanders in an interception. And, like, what a 55 plays for the Commanders, 58 for the Ravens. Yards, time of possession. It's a good game right now. Both teams showing that they're playoff teams today. Steve-O, do the bet, Ravens, so we can see how the points work. No, man, it's a cheat. It's a cheat. The Ravens are up so much. I'm sorry, Steve-O. I promise next week. I promise. Owe misses the sack. Daniels buying time. Roquan chasing him and pushed out of bounds. Gain what looks like 4th on the play. That's going to bring 4th and 4. Commanders have to go for it, right? They're not in field goal range, I don't believe. Oh, they are, I think. Field goal kickers out there. So Seifert out there for the Commanders to make this a 1-point game. Washington has 2 timeouts. Baltimore has 1. If Seibert misses this kick, the game's essentially over. If Seibert makes it, we got a game. This one from 49 from the right hash mark. Seibert, kick is up and right down the middle. He shanks the PATs, but he's able to hit those longer kicks. 23-30, Baltimore with still a 1-score lead. Steve-O says, not a cheat if we only get our points back and can only lose. Well, I'm pretty sure with the betting, Steve-O, it's a multiplier. So it's not the base, at least I don't think. And if it is, I actually need to change that then. Let me go check here. I think I can go look, actually. Let me see. Betting. Settings. Use repeat message, chat lines, close when. That's wild. I can't even change. It looks like what the betting. Ah, okay. It's a 2 times reward multiplier for the betting, by the way. I'm able to see that in the betting profile. Good to know. Good to know for future references. I know I didn't get my pick'ems in this week. It'd be all right, though. All right. And Washington, of course, just going to kick this one away with 2 timeouts and a 2-minute warning. They're in a pretty good position here. Baltimore definitely needs to come out here, run the ball, and get 2 sets of first downs to really put this game away, if I'm not mistaken. 148 rushing yards, I think they said for today for the Ravens. Henry 6 yards away from a 100-yard rushing game. Hopefully he's going to get it here. Three tight ends in here for the Ravens, Ricard, and 1 wide receiver out there. Henry, of course, lone back in the I formation. Strong left. They're going to run stretch outside zone that way. And Henry over a couple of guys, gain of maybe about 3 yards on the play. 2:44 on the clock. Kenny says, Jackbox later? Question mark? Probably not, Kenny. I was supposed to stream the game later. But, it's probably just going to be some time to hang out with the girlfriend. If we do need to run any errands, maybe go run some errands. But, oops, I dropped something. Because we didn't get anything done yesterday. And if not, just probably play some games with her. I know we haven't figured out dinner, but she's been out doing some shopping. I think doing some, shoe shopping and stuff like that. Kenny says, John Jay, that was just a troll yesterday. You didn't have to cancel the game. Steve-O says, Jackbox for second game? Sold! I know, I probably could do way more Jackbox streams. 2nd and 8. Toss play going left, and Henry cuts inside, gets ahead of his lead blocker, got the first down and some, still going past the 50. He's down at the 40-yard line. That was so funny. Ricard was patiently running into the outside trying to set up a block, and Henry just cuts inside and literally passes Ricard. He's like, no, big man, go upfield. Yeah, Ricard making sure that outside block was going to be there. He should have got upfield a little quicker. My God, Ricard could have. Can you imagine if Ricard would have been ahead of Henry on that block, how much further he would have got? Because he would have cleared Baptiste out of that play, more than likely. That's wild. David says, do I need to start a Jackbox TV support group for addiction? I know we got addiction and Jackbox. People keep jacking off in the boxes and gambling in my channel. This is getting too wild, guys. Steve-O says, I sent you a Jackbox stream, Kenny. I played all morning with her. Oh, that's cool, Steve-O. Yeah, there's actually a Jackbox has their own YouTube channel where I think they do almost daily streams. I think when I saw some girl was just running it, and they were just sitting there playing Jackbox games and bringing in people from the chat and all that stuff. Pretty cool. Like I said, I might do a poker night, but I almost want to figure out something more to add to the poker night, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like what would be a good idea to make? So what if someone goes out on poker chips? Do I allow someone to buy in again? And if I allow them to buy in again, what's the punishment maybe? Because I'm not going to do actual money or anything like that. I'm not trying to get in trouble with the gambling laws and cross-country interstate laws. But maybe change your name to something against your team. Make it a 49er per person, put Stafford is the GOAT as their name when they come back in for the buy-in or something like that. Or I would have to put Browns own the Ravens, or something fun, to keep the game fun, lighthearted, and just a little bit of extra fun. Maybe play word games. Maybe play Jackbox while we're playing poker. Shit. I could probably make that work even. What up, Taloa Faithful? Good to see you, man. Kenny says, I found a 49er fan who's been doing Jackbox for 9 years. That's wild, my dude. Shout out to him. Pusha says, Dell boys look good. I like how Henry fits in our offense. Yeah, it's definitely looking better and better every week. They're just trying to figure out what style runs work best. And we definitely, some of these outside toss plays are working really well for us, actually. CJ says, don't want to be a downer. However, did they release any info on Jacoby Jones? Have some great memories with him. I know this entire season has been dedicated to Jacoby and Coach D as well. Of course, both passed away this year. I have not seen any info released on Jacoby yet. Like Kenny said, liquor in the front, poker in the rear. And if you don't get it, you got to actually see the reading of it, like liquor as in the drink liquor and poker as in like Texas Hold'em poker. Huh. What's funny, Kenny in Myrtle Beach, they used to sell T-shirts with that printed on it. Pusha says, we got Henry for a steal. I know, right? A lot of Raven fans are mad that the Titans owner vetoed the Henry trade last year to the Ravens, apparently. Pusha says, the I formation, a lead blocker, and some. I know. Ricard in there. And see, that's what a lot of people don't realize. The Ravens almost have a hidden formation. When Ricard's in there in a fullback, you think of a fullback. Cool. It's with Ricard in there in fullback, and he can line up in line as well as an extra offensive lineman. It's not like having a fullback. It's more like having an extra offensive lineman out there and having a heavy formation. So the Ravens kind of get away with with some tomfoolery. All right, fullback's in there. It's actually extra offensive lineman, heavy formation. Heavy offset formation for the Ravens here, essentially, especially when he's not in the traditional fullback in the backfield formation. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of funny in that sense. The Ravens get away with like almost a trick play every time Ricard's in there. He's not a fullback, but he is a fullback. But 156, Washington with no timeouts, so in a 2nd and 6, the first down essentially ends the game for the Ravens. Handoff going left, little outside zone. Henry with a good lane, and he's down yards short of the play. So 3rd and 1 as we're in the final moments of this game here in M&T Bank Stadium. Derrick Henry now 24 rushes. I think that was 132 yards. Oh, man, I cracked my neck, and that felt so good. I wonder sometimes if y'all can hear the cracks through my mic. And Lamar having a good long talk with his coach. I say, where are you going out to eat after, man? You going out to Wendy's or are we going to BK? Man, I'm just trying to grab BK real quick. And Coach John Harbaugh taking the clock down to the absolute last second and using his final timeout. Basically trying to maximize the clock usage there. Good use of timeouts again, John Harbaugh. I think this is the first time in a long time I've been able to give a lot of compliments to John Harbaugh's clock usage. Want to make sure that's known because that's usually generally where I'm pretty critical of John Harbaugh. And he's used some good timeouts today, actually. There we go. Lamar Jackson, 20-26 for 323 yards, a touchdown and interception. Interception, not his fault in the slightest. Derrick Henry, 24 rushes for 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Zay Flowers hasn't seen much in the second half. 9 catches, 132 yards. Basically did it all in the first half, too, is what's wild about it. Kenny says, I'll be at YT Stream for the Giants game. Nice. And Lamar going to keep it, rolling out left, and got the... Oh! Where's the late hit? Jeremy Chin about to get lit up by Isaiah Likely. Travis Jones putting it on his helmet saying, bitch, I'm about to fight you. That was an obvious late hit by Jeremy Chin on Lamar Jackson out of bounds as he was going out of bounds. Game's over, basically. What? That's a cheap shot by Jeremy Chin, and I hope he gets fined and suspended by the NFL. I just love that Travis Jones, who was a defensive lineman on the sideline, literally put his helmet on and got ready to fight here. And that's obvious. He bends into it and tries to push through Lamar as he's going out of bounds. Lamar has clearly stopped his momentum and is going to go out of bounds at the angle, giving up on advancing. And they're trying to, and I love, I just saw number 90, Ojabo, was already on him. And Lamar and Harbaugh's like, dude, what the hell? Really no flag on that? They say he was in bounds. I hope, all I know is I hope Ricard or Mark Andrews goes and finds wherever Jeremy Chin's on the field right now. And goes and puts a pancake on the stat block. That's all I know. Pusha said, my boy, what's up on some merch? Remember when they said we was going to start 0-5? I know, right, Pusha? I know. I really actually do want to step up my merch store, Pusha. But I know one of the problems I have is that I really don't trust Teespring. I do have merch through Teespring, and I want to design more shirts. I joked with my girlfriend. I might get my girlfriend in on designing, but I hate how Teespring really limits what I'm able to do on the T-shirts. I wish I was able to do it through something else and set up a private merch store, but I don't know. Maybe I need to find someone that does T-shirts around here. And there's the kneel by Lamar Jackson. This game is officially over, ladies and gentlemen. 30-23 Baltimore. Baltimore's next 5 games a lot easier than the first 5. We've got Tampa, Cleveland, Denver, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh in the next 5 games. 3 of those games brought to you by CBS. They want to make sure they tell you that. Let's see. Oh, gosh. Gotta drop my pen. I'm trying to pick it up. Kenny says, I meet a lot of cute and talented girls while jacking. That's what I'm addicted to. Gibson got me 20.3. Ford and Etienne caught. Yep. Etienne left the game with an injury. That's rough. But like Kenny said, nice try, Jaden. Nice try, my guy. Baltimore going to extend that now to 19-2 against rookie quarterbacks at home all time. Harbaugh having a coach with Dan Quinn, probably telling him, hey, man, you got a good team. Maybe we'll see you in the Super Bowl. But can you imagine if Jaden Daniels made it to the Super Bowl, how wild that would be? Pusha said Lamar had to put the rookie in his place. Man, if the Commanders had a better secondary, they would be a greatly different team. And it was definitely easy to see that they had some coverage issues there. But wild into the game. Barely won. And they're taking us now to the Indianapolis-Tennessee game. Indy has a 20-17 lead with 1:07 left on the clock here. Tennessee. Does Tennessee have the ball, though? Flacco, though, just looking good in that game. But, yeah, more than likely, guys, probably not going to be doing the other stream later today. What game did I miss the other day? October 13th. October 13th. Delete forever. Yes. Making sure it deletes it and everything, takes it off. Kenny says this man is a multiple MVP win and could only beat a rookie by 7 points. Hey, I mean, come on, my boy. Come on. GG. Thanks, my boy. Thanks there, Larry. I appreciate you for coming and hanging out with us. It was a closer game. Both teams could have, eliminated some of their mistakes, and it could have drastically changed the game for both of them. Pusha, Kenny's just hating because he's got Jaden Daniels on his fantasy team, and he really wanted some more points out of him. But I think Jaden still probably had a pretty good day fantasy-wise. I'm not 100% sure, but I know I need some big play out of some of my guys later in that Detroit game on one of my fantasy football teams. Bucky Irving, come on, man, get some more points. He's got 9.6 points so far for me. Trevor Lawrence didn't have a terrible day. Sam Darnold on a bye for me. Dang. Of course, I picked up Dameon Pierce today, and he had 20 points in fantasy football. Of course. Of course he did. And he was riding on my bench. And I've got Braylon Allen. But Braylon Allen might get some more carries over Breece Hall. He's been the better back over there. Kenny says, Washington is not a good team. You know, Kenny, they've been surprisingly good. We talked about a lot how they had a lot of potential on the offense side of the ball, and they showed that. Terry McLaurin was one of my early fantasy football picks. I think they need to get Luke McCaffrey more involved. Brown's been kind of good, and Zacchaeus had some really bad drops today. But coming into this game, Washington was 11th ranked offense, 7th ranked pass, 5th in pass blocking, 9th in receiving, 11th in running, but 25th in run blocking. And again, no Brian Robinson Jr. today for them was probably pretty big. You know what I'm saying? Also missing Tyler Owens, one of their safeties. But the defense is where they've had issues. 25th overall, 20th in run defense, 21st in tackling, 19th in pass rush, 28th in coverage, which is why we kept talking about it earlier, that if their coverage was a little better, this team would be scary. I highly, highly, highly see the Commanders taking the same approach that we saw Detroit, Philly, and slightly Baltimore take in this past draft, and taking 2 cornerbacks pretty high in the upcoming draft. Would not surprise me at all because they got to redo that secondary. Definitely don't see Emmanuel Forbes being on this team much longer, even though he was out for this game. From my understanding, he's been beat out by some of these other guys, and that's bad for their former first-round pick. The lone bright spot and what's considered in the same defensive side of the statistic category is special teams, which their special teams is ranked 10th, and that's mostly due to Cyber. I think hit 7 of 7 field goals earlier on in this one of the games in the season. So good game, Commanders. I really look forward to seeing what the Commanders do here in the future. Maybe they'll make some moves here at the trade deadline, but they're probably looking to hold those picks for the draft upcoming. It's just unfortunate that Jaden Daniels and that offense is just going to have to score more. But with hopefully the return of Brian Robinson Jr. and getting their running game back a little more healthy, they'll be able to change maybe the way they're running their offense and put less strain on their defense. That would be one of my notes going forward for the Commanders. Kenny said, Bucky's still getting me points. Let's go. Did he just score? Did he get some points off a touchdown or something? Hey, let's go. Bucky's over 12.7 now in my league. Later, Pusha. Have a good day at work, my guy. I appreciate you for coming in. Larry says, I'm not buying Richardson. Man, I know. Richardson has talent. He's shown some really good coaching things, on throwing techniques. So one of the things that when if you go back to one of my old notebooks here, I fill up these notebooks, this is, my 23 season into the 24 draft and the start of the 24 season notebook, basically. On Anthony Richardson, my notes that I did on him in my draft evaluation, I actually liked one of the things was due to his arm strength and coaching. When he missed a throw, he missed it correctly. And what I mean by that is, case in point, when you're throwing an out route to a wide receiver, if you're going to miss that throw, do you miss outside or inside? Are you missing high or low on the throw? I tell my quarterbacks, hey, I need you to get used to throwing this ball with anticipation and towards the sideline, that it's either your guy gets it or nobody gets it. You cannot throw the out route behind your guy. You cannot throw a crosser behind your guy. You cannot throw the post route high. You can't. You can throw the go route high, but you can't throw the go route low. Things like that. Because if I throw the post route high and it misses, there's probably a safety sitting over. It depends actually on where the safety's sitting, I should be honest with you, because that's another thing. Where is the defensive alignment? Where are the safeties sitting? But easy thing on a go route. If you're going to miss the go and there's no safety sitting over top of you, you miss by throwing it long. You cannot ever underthrow and give an easy interception. The only case that ever breaks is where you have a veteran wide receiver and a veteran quarterback who know how to throw and have shown the ability in games and practice to throw a back shoulder fade. Like I said, that takes a lot of like practice and playing together and comfort, that just essential teamwork is I'm missing the word I really want to say there. Chemistry is the correct word I'm looking for. And, possibly draw a penalty as well. And Richardson showed a lot of those really good techniques, but he's also taking bad shots from like when he runs the ball and doing these other little things that are absolutely killing me. And we can see by Joe Flacco coming in with that Shane Steichen offense that it's not a bad offense. It's just we got to really fix those problems. And it drives me nuts, man. Like Mike Tomlin said, I never step away from the challenge of coaching. If it's a coaching problem, I should be able to fix it, basically, as an NFL head coach. You know what I'm saying? Chris Godwin got 30. They were in a shootout down there in NOLA, bro. Absolutely lit it up. Steve-O said, do the Jets win? No. And Larry says, Washington has tons of cap space now. Ooh. So what you're saying, Larry, is they might be really heavy on the free agent market. Brandon Stevens is one of those corners that could be on the free agent market. I really hope he's not. I hope Baltimore works out a deal with him, but Chargers already intercepted Bo Nix. Oh, my God. And I really hope here at the end of October, I'm supposed to be messaging Brandon Perna to maybe do a preview show of Ravens versus or at Broncos. I think it's at Broncos. No, it's at Ravens. I'm sorry. So Denver at the Ravens. And I need the Broncos to play good over the next few weeks so that I have a lot more good things to say. I've been a Bo Nix fan. I haven't watched any Denver ball yet to figure out what's going on, so I might have to watch a Denver game coming up here soon. Steve-O says, name a player today that can get their coach fired and Mahomes not getting Reed fired. What's funny about that, Steve-O, is actually one of the arguments I brought up the other day is when do we get to that Brady-Belichick argument with Mahomes Reed? So towards the end of Brady's career, everyone started saying Brady made Belichick. No. Belichick made Brady. And it became such a loud argument that it may have caused actual friction in their relationship. So I brought this up on a stream the other day. I said, when do we get to that argument with Mahomes and Andy Reid? Who made who? Is it all Mahomes or is it all Andy Reid and his play calling and his team building? I think it'll be funny when we get there and that conversation or that argument becomes a little louder. You know what? Actually, hold on. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start taking notes of arguments like this. If my pen will work. There we go. Oh my God, this pen. Oh, it's probably the surface. That's probably why it's not working. Duh, I'm so stupid. Brady versus Bell. Mahomes versus. I wrote it down here on my sticky note. I'm going to put it on the front of my football journal because that's where football-related notes go till I put them away permanently. I am going to try to call into the Rich Eisen show this week because I think they got run from like 12 to 3 Monday through Friday. I'm going to try to call into the Rich Eisen show this week. I'm going to set an alarm and get up every day and get on that phone call. And that's going to be one of the questions that I try to bring up to him. And I'll be like, Rich, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate you fielding my question. I do a small, I'm going to shout out my channel, Rich Eisen Show. I don't care. I do a small YouTube football, show podcast. And this is one of the things that hit me recently that I brought up as a conversation, argumentative point, and I'd love to get your take on it, and then go into the whole spiel about it, blah, 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 blah. We'll see, right? There is nobody today. Maybe Daniels. I know, right? Like Allen, if he didn't suck. But yeah, the Streamlabs poll question is because there is like no running back like even close apparently to 10,000 yards other than Derrick Henry. And I basically that's not having injury issues or something else, at least in rushing yards. They're talking purely rushing, you know. I think CMC is around 6,000 or so, so he still needs like 4 healthy good seasons, like 3 maybe 15-yarders, but Jonathan Taylor's like the only young guy, and he still would need a ton of really like 5 healthy years essentially. 3 Vizo says, how bad was the Lamar interception? It actually, so I'm glad you said that, Vizo. It was not on Lamar at all. Lamar nailed Mark Andrews dead square in the middle of the hands. And Mark Andrews just let it go right through his hands, dropped it, and it went right into the hands of a defensive player for Washington. So actually, Vizo, the interception, not on Lamar at all, was not an ugly interception. Like I said, 100% actually on Mark Andrews. I think it was Mark Andrews' like first or second target of the game. So not bad at all. But yeah, they said Derrick Henry, just because the way running backs, they're being devalued, the league's moving towards passing more, you know, all of this, and just running backs, it's hard to find that bell cow type of guy that can stay healthy for 10 seasons while putting up 1,000-yard seasons, essentially. And so they raised Bucky Irving got a touchdown, I think, or something. He's got 19.5 points now, Kenny. Let's go. I needed that so bad. My God, though, the guy I'm playing my league, he's 5-0. He's predicted right now to get 184 points because he's got Chris Godwin, who's got 41 points right now. Yeah, Chris Godwin, 41 points. He's got Joe Mixon, 27.2 points. Stephon Diggs, 19.7. Mark Andrews, 18.6. My God. The only thing I've got working my advantage is he started Dontavion Wicks for 1.9, and he's got Dan Jones for Cincinnati, playing Cincinnati tonight. That is my only saving grace, but I'm predicted to lose to him by like 30 points right now. I need Darnell Mooney to go off versus Carolina as well later. Oh, yeah, I was supposed to do back-to-back games today. Oh, so Carolina Atlanta was at 8:15. They flexed it to the 4 o'clock slot. So wait, what's the night game now? Because if they flex Carolina Atlanta to 4 from 8, what's the night game? Because they wanted this game to be the night game, and everyone kind of wishes this had been the night game. But CBS would not give up their broadcasting rights to the game. It's Buffalo versus New York. Meh. I mean, it might be a really good game. It might be. I definitely think Baltimore versus Washington would have been a better game. I think possibly, you know, that probably was the best game to put in that slot. Let's be honest. Cleveland and Philly was supposed to be a good game, but I'm glad Philly came away with that win by 4 points. Just the way Cleveland was scoring was ridiculous. Yeah, they've got some good ones though. Detroit-Dallas is going to be a good game too, actually. I think originally that was the game that I had scheduled to call, like when I was taking my notes of the schedule and like trying to like block out all my games that I was going to call. And I think I just had too many Detroit and Dallas games that I already had on the calendar. And I was like, all right, I got to pick something. And that's when I started working through my schedule. And I'm like, all right, which teams have I not called a single game for? And it was supposed to be tonight's game of Carolina versus Atlanta was the only, I think, Carolina game I had lined up for the season. So sorry to the Carolina fan base. I don't think I have anyone in my subscription base, though. That's a Carolina fan. Larry says, not sure how Coach will bridge. It's starting to seem that way a little bit, Larry. Like I said, the good things I throw on throwing techniques, he needed a little bit of cleanup with his footwork. It was one of those ones when I did my film study. It was like, if we can clean up Richardson's footwork just a little bit here, it will help his accuracy by that 20% margin. And if we could increase his margin of accuracy by anywhere between 5 and 20%, he'd be a 4,000-yard passer. And dude's got so much talent, man. It's so frustrating to watch. I need to watch more of his games. I don't know if I have any games scheduled, but it's yeah, Larry, like I reached out to Perna before the beginning of the season. And he actually hit me back up. He was like, "That sounds awesome, man." Just he's like, "Hit me up a little closer." So then, like, I think after the beginning of the season, I hit him up. I was like, "I know you said later, but I'm just tracking. It's been a while. I want to make sure you didn't have anything come up. If you have the time, it'd still be great." He said he still would do it, which was awesome to hear. He said to hit him up at the end of October. So I'm not trying to like bother the dude, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to wait till the end of October to hit him up to collab with him. The thing is this, I actually lined up before the season started. I hit up a bunch of content creators to try to do collabs, maybe do like preview shows of the games in a sense. Of the such, Denver and Brandon Perna are actually the first of many collabs. So I have Brandon Perna. The Charger game is November 3rd. I then have a collab planned with Locked On Chargers, part of the Locked In Sports Network, for the Harbaugh Bowl, which is November 25th. I'm thinking about doing a preview show with Spongy on for the Philly game, which is December 1st. Then I reached out to the Breaking Tackles podcast, who's a Giants fan, to do a collaboration with him for the Giants game December 15th. Got it all on my calendar here. I'm reading off. And then for the Houston game on Christmas, shout out to my girlfriend. I've already discussed with her, I'm going to be doing the Christmas game. So much love to her. We reached out to the creator of 713 Sports YouTube and the, Believe Texans podcast? If it's wrong, I'm so sorry. But he does a podcast, and he's the 713 Sports YouTube channel to do a preview show with the Houston Texans fan as well. So we actually did plan a lot of collabs before the season, and we've got them coming up on the schedule. We're really excited about that. It was, I told myself this year I was going to put a lot more effort into the channel. We are putting a lot more effort in, but it's still... I'm going to be like real with y'all, honest. It's still not the level of effort and commitment that I want. I'm still not doing 2 different shows, one pre-recorded and one live, that I've been telling myself I was going to do, that I told myself I was going to hold myself accountable to do. It just has been a little hard with it all. So it was and scheduling all these previews was one of my efforts to try to really grow my channel and hit that 1,000 subscriber goal this year. I'll be honest, man. If I don't hit the 1,000 subscriber goal before the end of the season, this might be one of my final years doing just streaming in general. I don't know. Maybe if I upgrade everything and I can do gaming streaming. It's just, it's also hard, man. My computer, GPU can't even really handle video editing. So it's just hard in general. And even my phone is like an old Galaxy S8. It's super duper old. The camera sucks on it. So even recording on it just doesn't go well for when I'm trying to do other content, stuff like that. So Larry said it was Brady and it's probably Mahomes. You're probably right, my boy. Kenny said Tampa finished with 300 rushing yards. Larry says, hint, be brief and succinct. I'm not sure what succinct means, to be honest with you. Let me Google it. Let me see if... Succinct. It's an adjective, especially of something written or spoken. Brief and clearly expressed. You are very correct on that, though. And on that same note, Larry, the algorithm favors short content. I need to be making more YouTube shorts and stuff like that. One of my problems is I'm a Facebook guy, so a lot of the videos that I watch are on Facebook, and I would love to do reactions and stuff like that to some of those videos, but it doesn't import over well, and I need to be doing more of that stuff, which then, like I said, the video editing aspect I struggle with. I know one of my goals, man, if I ever hit like that bigger monetization goal, I think I would take all the money that I make off the channel and just find one of my friends and be like, here's the deal. If you'll help me run my Discord, moderate, and do video editing to help me produce content and just help in general, all the money for right now is yours till we hit a certain limit. Jackbox is a good one. It's kind of funny. I was actually watching a short of Kai Cenat, and he was talking about like he was talking about as a big streamer, you actually sometimes can't give in to your audience. Like they're like, y'all thirsty. He's like, you thirsty ass motherfuckers would have me have that e-girl on every single day. But he's like, I have to create different types of content and prevail to the larger audience and all this and that. And Sirius Lara says Harbaugh leaves the Chargers game due to illness. What? Holy shit, that's huge. I wonder what's wrong with him. Succinct. CJ said, I would say I'm your typical Ravens fan, and I cannot watch the Ravens game live since I live in the Pacific Northwest. I have listened to every Ravens stream, and man, CJ, dude, I appreciate you, my guy. Like, I really do. I try, like, part of this, my streaming journey is just a weird journey because part of it's because I really just want to be able to make enough money to seriously help people. Like, I would love nothing more to hit my goal on the channel to be big enough to actually run charity streams. Like, I told my girlfriend the other day, I was talking with her, I was like, 100%, if I ever get big enough, like this year, to where I can do a charity stream, like a for real charity stream, like where YouTube will replace my like donate button with an actual charity donate button, I will 100% do a 24-hour stream, stay on camera 24 hours, playing Jackbox and other types of games and bringing people on and doing interviews, just whatever it takes kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? I would do it in a heartbeat. Part of the reason is because I started doing my draft specials because I've always wanted to get into scouting. Ever since I graduated high school in 2008 and I left Disney World to, go watch the 2008 draft, I've always had a special place in my heart for scouting. But just, I know I don't have 20 years to give to some place to maybe finally be able to send my resume to the Ravens, Not only do I not have enough time physically, but I need income quicker than that. And then, like I had ideas like my biofuel cell, my progenitor bone marrow cancer therapy, GARP, the Great Africa River Project, my toilet redesign, you name it, man. I've got folders full of ideas, but it takes money to make money. I'm a weirdo. I'll never tell. People will be like, yo, you're weird. I'll be like, yeah, I am. I'm weird. I'm probably a little crazy too, but at least I like to say I'm crazy in the good sense. That's what I joke with my girlfriend about. I'm like, I know I'm a little crazy, but I'm crazy in the good sense that I just want to help people. And CJ says, I keep waiting for you to break out, man. I'm trying, man. I'm trying so hard. It's just, it kills me. I know social media influencers personally that have made over $1 million that have been trending on Google, and they do nothing. And there's just so many people that it's just so wild, man. I can't go into it. Kenny says, I started wearing overalls with a winter hat and my channel blew up. The internet is weird. Dude, the internet is weird like that. You're not wrong, Kenny. Case in point, my highest view short video is just me doing a vertical box jump. I tell my girlfriend I honestly miss kind of going to the gym late at night to work out because when no one's at the gym, I don't feel bad recording. And like when no one's at the gym, I can do wind sprints. One of my like weirdly best YouTube lives I was ever having, I literally just went live from my phone at the gym as I was doing wind sprints during training camp. And like doing a Q&A essentially while I was doing wind sprints. And I like all of a sudden I had 10% battery left. I had like 50 viewers the moment I started the stream for some weird reason. I was like, what the hell? And I was getting like a lot of good reactions. People were telling me like they were like loving that I was, interacting with the stream and all this stuff. Like I try to listen to what people tell me on my stream and what they like. And I try to go to other bigger streams and, not only show them love, but kind of see what people like, what they're doing. Like, I try, man. I try. But it's one of those ones, I talk about this with Kenny a lot. There's only so much one man can do. It takes a team. But I never expect anyone to work for free. And I'm poor. I'm poor as shit, man. So, damn, Tampa 51-27. They put their foot on the gas and never looked back. That's wild. Larry says tonight, Bengals versus Lions. You could use a gimmick. And that you're not wrong on that, Larry. I could use like some type of gimmick. And if my PC was stronger too, I would do more gaming content as well, which I have 3 different channels. I want to do cooking content, and nutrition content. I want to do workout content. I want to do gaming content. I want to do football content. There's so much content that I want to do, but I'm limited by my time, my income, my PC. I don't even have a stand to hold my phone to record correctly. That isn't just like a few inches tall. My mic boom got ruined last year or 2 years ago, and I've never been able to replace it. It's wild, man. And I'll be honest, like I'm not working right now, and it's so frustrating to put resumes into hundreds of jobs that you're overqualified for and never get callbacks. And like one of my most recent jobs, I did 4 different interviews for one of the largest defense contractors in the U.S. down here that landed a huge naval contract that allowed them to build a brand new 100,000 plus square foot manufacturing facility up north. I went through 4 different interviews. I thought I was crushing every single interview. I was showing up so prepared with such in-depth knowledge on everything about the company that, I was given verbal praise and acknowledgement that I was more well prepared than my fellow interviewee counterparts, my peers. But, I tone down my craziness when I go into my interviews. Very professional, and I try my best. And man, dude, that one crushed my fucking heart when I didn't get that one. Because there's not many jobs in the area that have the growth potential then the problems start with, I had a heat stroke when I was growing up, and I've suffered several heat exhaustion. So I'm in Florida, man. I can't work outside. I will literally die if I have to go outside, especially in long sleeve, long pants. I have diverticulosis, meaning I have holes in my gut that create severe pain every once in a while. I've had multiple endoscopies and colonoscopies to check it and stuff like that. We talked about a little in Denver or in Colorado. I was literally dying. They thought I was going to die, essentially. And the last thing I was getting checked in Colorado was I have severe neck issues that are sometimes really bad. And it definitely, because I'll be honest, when people see me, I'm a 6'3", 230 pound plus ginger. When people see me, they do not think inside office style work. They just don't see it. And then when I went back to college, I tell people, well, I waited tables when I went through college. It so hurt my resume because now all of my really good payroll management, high level executive work that I did early in my career is behind all this damn serving and restaurant management work that they don't lean into it as much. So going back and waiting tables through college kind of hurt me a lot, to be honest with you. I went from being one of the youngest managers in the entire Delta system. At 20 years old, your boy won the job to be one of the next gate managers of Minneapolis for Delta Airlines, meaning I would have been managing an entire concourse, meaning 60 gates a day or 60 gates at a time in a concourse for Delta at 20 years old. And that's actually when I had my heat stroke. I lost consciousness, almost died in South Carolina, and I cried and begged my doctor to release me from OJI, and he wouldn't do it. And I ended up losing my promotion because you can't transfer on OJI. And that's how I ended up as Arkansas as a performance manager, actually, instead of a gate manager, which was, it's one of those ones. God has a plan, or you're up whatever power. Because while that definitely hurt my career and my professional growth in future, the performance management side of it grew me personally in my personal life and a little bit more in my professional life. Because it's one of my problems. I know I'm so sidetracked because there's no football, man. I'm just rambling before I end the stream. Like, seriously, says I'm so poor I can't even pay attention. I feel you on that, Larry. See, this is where we sidetrack Levi to gamble. How to get that extra gambling in. Kenny says, Kamani Vidal, let's go! My boy Kamani's starting for the Chargers. Let's go. For those that don't know, Kamani Vidal was one of my pound the ground rooms, running back room guys in the draft coming out of Troy. I loved him and Gunnar Watson at Troy. I'm glad to see that he's getting started, and he just scored his first touchdown. Let's fucking go. Steve-O says, I have CMC coming back soon. Got Brown and might get Singletary or Collins on. Ooh, nice, Steve-O. Nice. Yeah, that's like, case in point, actually, when I was playing semi-pro football, is actually about the same time I was applying for all my management positions. So I was playing semi-pro football while also working security and working for Delta Airlines. I was working for Securitas, or Securitize, wherever you want to pronounce it. And I ended up getting a cheap shot after our second game by one of our safeties, put his helmet on my chin strap, messed up my neck. I ended up missing some time from work. And my boss sat me down at work, my station manager, and said, here's the deal, man. You're applying for these promotions, but you just missed time and stuff like this. You've got to make a choice, whether you're going for this professional career or you're going to keep playing semi-pro football, because, I can't recommend you for these promotions if you're going to miss time like that. And I was like, fuck. So I had to make a choice at that point. Do I keep playing semi-pro football and trying? And don't get it twisted. Our semi-pro team had some good talent. The 4-year starting tackle for CCU was our starting left tackle. Former starting safety for University of South Carolina was our starting free safety. Just a lot of these guys either just finished college football, or they did stuff that got them kicked off their team via drugs and crime, essentially. And, just couldn't play college football anymore, but still were hoping to maybe make XFL, UFL type of Canadian football, something like that. But that's why I actually stopped playing semi-pro football. I chose my professional career, which then worked out for me and then didn't work out for me, basically. But all right, guys, I'm sorry for rambling. We're slowly losing viewers here. I really want to say again, I appreciate every single one of y'all for coming, hanging out with us on this stream. I have canceled the game for later tonight. My apologies. I'm just going to go spend some time with the girlfriend and hopefully go some food. Dobbins is in, but he's always hurt. That's true. That's true. Steve says Cowboys, Detroit, Pittsburgh, both. Yeah, those are the good games, honestly. But Steve-O, David, Kenny, Larry, CJ, Vizo. We had Chimera in here for a while as well. Lucky Chuck, Pusha. Really appreciate every single one of y'all for coming and hanging out with us. Honestly, I told y'all, I have these internal doubts, and today was one of those days I was rolling over, looking at my girlfriend going, man, why do I even put in this effort? My channel's never going to take off. I'm never going to hit it like Perna. I'm never going to hit it like Grossi. Shit, I'm never going to even probably hit it like Coach or Ingram, to be honest with you. But if you don't try, you got to keep trying, and that's what keeps me going. And honestly, every single one of y'all, when I see y'all in the chat hanging out and coming to even just hit that like button, it honestly gives me more fuel to keep coming back. So I really appreciate y'all. Kenny says, I'm waiting for the Giants game. Oh man, I need Dan Jones to just choke for fantasy football for me to win my sleeper league. Because like I said, he had what's his name who went off for 40 freaking points. But With that, again, great game, Commanders. Great game, Ravens. Special thanks to every single one of y'all for coming and hanging out with us. Like my boy Joe Swanson says from Family Guy, make sure you smash that like button before you leave, or I'll break your legs like Joe Swanson legs. I'm kidding. Steve-O says, Coach always say, stay low and keep your cheeks moving. I know, right? I might, honestly, every once in a while, I might start thinking about bringing Jackbox games to these streams as well and having Jackbox up and like having maybe like one of y'all run it essentially. Well, I play. Might be something I do here in the future just to have, add another level of viewership, something to the game. I never know. Should I add more camera? Should I add more games? Should I do a bigger play, like a full screen play cast? Like, what would be better for my viewer audience? Make sure you leave a comment with a suggestion. And with that, dude, I'm finally going to go get some food. I'm starving. D-Rave is out. We will see y'all Wednesday for the Corey Davis Lockdown Picks on Wednesday, 10 p.m. on David McNiner's channel.